Secretive yummy. And we're early too. Technically we're 50 minutes late, but I'm gonna count us as 5 minutes early. It's better for the metrics. I just opened up my bottle of sparkling fluid and it was loud, and I forgot that carbonation makes things loud. I should make all the yummy arts as things you can pull, like legendary creatures. You got scared of a Sodi? Yeah. It was loud. It was startling. I mean, I wasn't horrified. It wasn't terror. I was startled. Why, that's Turbo Soup. Turbo Meal. Fuck. That's my friend Turbo Meal. Look at the blank page. Oh. Feel the rain on your skin. I understand now. Everyone's talking before the ads are even over. I'm surprised. Gratefully. I'm gratefully surprised. We only have 30 seconds left. I have to start being entertaining in 31 seconds. Why is there a new... Why there new... I don't know why there is that. Wait, did you gain 350? You did. You didn't spend that. I'd never enabled that. That's just a thing that's there now, I guess. See, for OV, I still get ads. Oh wait, is it? Do you have the thing that like makes it tiny? Like during ads, it just like drops it to like the pop out like 240p thing. Okay, ads are done. We've completed the 3-minute ad. Wow, 59 minutes and 44 seconds of pre-rolls off. What a beautiful world we live in. Oh, I was gonna say maybe when I get partner, like I can turn off ads entirely, but I don't think that's a thing because James can't do that. Ads more like bads. Am I right, folks? Hi, Crow. How's it going in Crowtopia? You can't, or I would have. Oh, you're saying that the concept is PP concept. Look at the concept, it's PP. That makes sense. Isn't PP one of them bitches from the Wee Wee? You know? Not PP. This stream is yummy. Yummy. Yummy cupsy. Yummy cupsy. I just like that in my brain. I don't even know if that was the original thing. You're thinking of Garten of Ban... No, I'm thinking of the fucking item label. Thinking of item label is what I'm thinking of. Item label of Banban. Banban's label of Garten. Oh, you can't get me. I just had too big of a dinner. I had a disgusting dinner last night. And then I just decided to eat ice cream, protein-based ice cream instead because I'm an adult. So today was the second time. This is not a piss stream. Actually, this very well might be a piss stream. I went to work today, and oh, I skip. Not a thing because of the we're in Giggletopia, so I can't skip things. Just like a one at random. I'm just gonna click on the one at random. That's fine. No, if I get a big dinner, I don't get iframes. It's like in the it's like when you play Undertale and you fight against Sans and you just wait an hour and he falls asleep. That's me. That's me after my big dinner. Yesterday I wait, Was it Tuesday? Did I already inform you all about my poor dinner mistake? My potatoes, my chopped unk potatoes. If I'm to use the 6-7 slang. Reverb is correct. It's not Tuesday. For a second, I got scared that I was like, oh fuck, I have 3 more days left. No, tomorrow's Friday. Hey folks, TGIT. TGIT. Thank God it's Tuesday. The ones with the black towel? No. Oh, those were the ones. Those black towel potatoes were from a while ago. Those are from like years ago. That was from my Uma Musume that my friend made. Where is, well, an artist made. Where is, yeah. Can we peek at the arc for a minute? Yeah, let me pull it up. I need to find a way to look at only this post and not like my whole blog or anything. I guess, you know, I can just pop all these out into a new image. If you want to see the full post, just go to my blog. It's there. Sanity Delicious Memory is so beautiful. So look at every post on your Tumblr Dash. You can. Someone like a little bit ago is like, I was following you, but all your Tumblr Dash is only Yuri. Like what? It's like crazy not that. There's like so many other things on there. Not that there's anything wrong with Yuri. Not that I would deny a Yuri. Not the only thing that's going on my Tumblr Dash. Where the fuck is OBS? There it is. I found OBS. Dude, I have a Stream Deck with like 47 buttons. It's been unplugged for 5 months. I need to be able to use it to navigate for things. I spent this money on this. I've just never set it up. Let's go to the inner Winston screen. Cool. Okay, this is Gray Concrete. This is the artist right here. You can go to their Tumblr. I think this is their Blue Sky. I could be wrong. But this is their attempt at me as an Uma Musume. I don't know if they know what I look like in real life, but I definitely don't have abs like this. This is my goal. I also don't wear shorts. I don't own shorts like these. It'd be fun though. I just don't know if they sell them in my like thigh size. It's Gray Concrete based off of real host of the other Umas. I don't. You like this? Yeah. No, you know I don't. I don't have the ears, James. You should wear. Do you have boobs like that? If this stomach wasn't like snatched in like this, no, I guess not, because like this they're like kind of overhanging so much. I have pecs. I have like muscular pecs with fat on top. They kind of look like boobs, so they don't look like as like big as this. I wonder what size like top I would wear. I don't know. If you've ever seen like I guess like a lesser example of like, I don't know, does Eddie Hall have identifiable pecs? Yeah, kinda, yeah. Like I guess like a, you know, like muscular chest. Okay, where am I? Where's chat? No, one way you can find your cup size. I mentioned that offhand, and someone was like, wait, okay, just taking estrogen doesn't make you find out your cup size. You have to get a sizing. But I mentioned that offhand like years ago, and someone was like, oh my god, just go to Victoria's Secret, they'll size you. And I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? There's no goddamn way I'm doing that. There's no way that like a cis guy like me is just gonna go to Victoria's Secret and just be like, hello, I need you to size my chest. No, I'm not doing that. That sounds like a nightmare. I'm sure you could do it, but I have a fucking measuring tape somewhere. I'm sure I could just put it around my chest and find the location. Anyways, off of tits. I don't think Gray Concrete is based off of a Numamus, a real horse. I'm also not sure what 6'2" is, but Slop is fun. I like the Slop. A while ago in that Discord with I'm in with this artist. There was a we had a discussion about like favorite types of foods, and I also know about 6'7". It's cool that like that specifically, like the whole joke is that it's not a joke. It's like when people were posting the Markiplier E in like 2017, Um, but what was I talking about? Oh, I didn't post in Discord. Oh, I saw someone do the freaking cat scream cat react at everyone. Chopped Unk Gaming. I'm not saying that. Did you alert Tumblr? I alerted Tumblr. I'm doing hashtag. Were you trying to say hashtag playpig and then you fucked up by like fat fingering your pinky? Yummy cupsy. Trying to get my 6/7 now that the coin is coming out. No, it's been going to hell for a while. Like CBS, Fox, and NBC News have done multiple stories on 6/7. Like it's just not been a thing for a while. It was briefly a meme in like, I don't even know, in the zeitgeist like 2 months ago, and now it's just like it's going through in waves. But like the people that invented the whole like made it popular, they've moved on. Now it's all about chopped unks. It's not actually about that. I just like saying chopped unk. Very good in the mouth. Anyways, slop girl. So I like slop. That's the whole thing with it. Like my favorite sort of like dish, like a default dish that's good for me. I think if you close your eyes and imagine like a dish, what you want is some sort of carbohydrate based. That can be bread, that can be rice. Rice is pretty good though. You want some sort of like hearty protein. So you want like, you know, a lamb kebab, unks feel, no, chopped, you know what I mean. You want like a, you know, a lamb kebab, you want like steak strips, you want like pulled chicken, and then a sauce. And then the sauce you kind of like mix in with everything else, and it makes this. Oh, I like that little star emote. Who is that? It's Yummy. And Retractivist has reacted with Yummy and Yummy Premium. Wait, and Yummy Supreme. Those are three badass emotes that Retractivist just replied to my thing with. Anyways. And slop. Also, almost all the meals I've made have just some sort of like very heavily like sauce component. The meal I made, we'll get into that at the end of this. So this is Gray Concrete. Here's the context for this. So this about what year was this? So this is 2 years ago. I made hash browns by grating a whole bunch of potatoes. And I read that the potatoes need to be they need to be very dry. So I grated the potatoes and then I dried them on a paper towel. And then I read further and it was like they need to be really, really dry. Like the less water, the better. And I had just rinsed the starch off of them. So these are the potatoes. You know, we can all agree this is what normal potatoes look like. What is drying them paper towel? It removes all the water, so they get really crispy because you're trying to remove the water and the starch is in the water as well. So I put them on the paper towel, and then I put on the paper towel on top, and I like patted them dry and stuff. Know what action you're describing? Oh yeah, I just described it. Like you put them on the paper towel, you put another one on top, and you just pat them out to dry, and then I left them out for probably like 4 hours. So then eventually, after having them sit out for long enough, they went onto this paper towel and they turned black, and I don't know why they turned black. I really don't know why they turned like this dark, because like, so this one's the worst. I think this one is. So what's crazy is that while I was doing all this, I was just like, this is just what potatoes do. But everyone was so enraptured, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you guys. This is, from what I can understand, a very default way to make potatoes. It's actually good that this thing turned colors because this is all the starch. I guess the starch oxidized, and that's why it turned black. So then I put them over here, and then doesn't seem odd to you. It didn't at the time. I can understand now that this looks like dryer lint, but it didn't at the time. And then yeah, I did have to throw these away. Oh, I did throw these ones away. So this morning, so this was over the course of 2 days that I did this, 24 hours. The potato I was black again. I tried washing them and turned the water gray. Yeah, so I did throw these ones away. I did a similar thing later. I didn't post about that, but I did have to throw these ones away. I think the problem was the paper towels were getting far too dark, and it's not the color that I recall potatoes to be. So I stopped eating those. Oh, this. So this requires more backstory. This one's a little rough. This one's gonna be a little rough, and I can accept that. At the time being, it was fine. This is just a steak, so this is just fine. This is so Fall here is talking about this, and I was like, look, this is pink. This is hash browns. These look like potatoes. This is steak. Now the steak was great. The difficulty was I was like, I can make a sauce. I can make a pan sauce. And how do you do so? So I had some things in the fridge. I didn't have a lot, but I had Better Than Bouillon, which is like a bouillon stock. I had flour, which is what you can kind of see chopped up in the bouillon stock. And then I had vanilla coffee creamer, which is not milk, but it's pretty close to milk. So I put all those in this pan that was warm, and I have my long chopstick, and I was just stirring it around, and I was waiting for the bouillon to develop into like the rest of it. And as you can see from the picture, the bouillon never really, like, it kind of came together a little bit, but it kind of remained this pretty heavy chunk of just like flour. Do you have anything else to stir with? I sought this out. I wanted to stir with this. I was desperately trying to find something to stir with. If you're this is a Hexclad pan. This is Teflon and stainless steel. You don't want to use like metal, and I didn't want to dirty up a nice wooden thing. I needed something thin so I could scrape. The pan was warm, the bouillon was burning down, and the flour had turned. So I needed to keep spinning the whole way through to make sure I had what I got. So then it's kind of a little bit out of order. Then we get to this. What's crazy is that I actually have a video of the it got worse. Oh man, I'm just remembering this now. There's a video I have of hash browns I made later, but we didn't have any flour. All we had was protein-based pancake mix. So the hash browns that I made were like mostly pancakes, and there's a video of me like tapping them and then punching them and then trying to bend them so they break and nothing happens. I didn't eat those. I ate a little bit. I probably ate like half of them. You can go to the store to buy ingredients. If I'm getting to this point, I'm not fucking going to the store. I'm working with what I have. And this was delicious. I ate this whole thing. Yes, I saw the whole thing about protein powders. I fucked on 11 of them. I talked about this like 4 months ago. That's why I use Wicked Proteins, clean label certified. Getting to that point when you should. What do you mean? No, I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. I was confirmed. I was locked in. That's all I needed. Can I look at how about before? What would that be? 2023. Let me see if I can find the video I said. This would be what, 6/3, so that's what, June 4th. This is, hold on, give me a second. I'm trying to find the right thing. There's for sure a thing that I have somewhere. Do not sunk cost fallacy with your health. Oh, it's fine. Thank you, Theta. I'm glad that someone's in my corner. Wait, is this is the 6th month, the 3rd day, right? Why the fuck can't I find this? You need to go to the therapy. Take my side. You're looking at the Twitch Yu-Gi-Oh! You're gonna see this. Well, I mean, question. I have it in the thing. Questions are. You can ask questions. It's fine to ask questions. If you got questions, you can ask them. What the fuck, dude? I can't find the video. I'll find it later. Theta. So this is a sauce that went on this steak, and I thought this steak looked good and tasted nummy. And I guess I'm the pervert because I like eating food. Where the fuck is for maybe I'll do the day before. 3. Oh, maybe it's the other way. Maybe it's 0306. That would be wait, 0603 0306 would be what, March 6th? Give me a second, folks. I'm looking through to see if I can find the video I'm trying to find. Whole lot of talk about Dark Souls. This is 2022. I'm fucked. We're fucked. I'm not looking at this. Never mind. In the next 2 years, I will trick Sandy into consuming a sponge. If it's a live sponge, I'll eat it, but I'm not eating like a sponge people use for things. Oh, I can also find so this was the inception of the bad food. This is a picture of my meal from yesterday. So what this is I woke up and I was on my phone and I saw a video of a guy. Ew. I saw a video of a guy who was like he made these potatoes. So I was like, I just went to the store and I bought like 9 potatoes and I don't eat potatoes. Guess I'll try to make something with potatoes. Okay, I'll click away from it so you all don't have to look at it. The potatoes I boiled for, by the way, like 2 hours until they were fork tender. Why the fuck does it take that long? Boiled the potatoes, peeled the potatoes, took the potatoes out of the potato peeler and chopped them up, added some butter, didn't describe how much butter or flour, so I just kind of eyeballed it. Didn't have flour, but I had pizza flour, which is pretty high hydration, which I think is good enough. And I made some really good looking mashed potatoes, laid them out flat, and then what the guy said was you can put anything in here, cheese, you can put like sausage, you can put mushrooms, you can put ground beef. It's like, okay, I'll just put a whole, I just bought 2 pounds of ground beef, put a pound of ground beef in here. And then the initial video he was watching was like deep fry it, but he's like, I'm not doing that, I'm just putting it in the air fryer. So I was like, okay, I'll just throw it in the air fryer. I wrapped it all up, so it was like basically mashed potatoes, some cheese, raw ground beef, mashed potatoes on top, and then threw it in the air fryer for 10 minutes and nothing changed. Everything looked the exact same, except there was like a peaking of like a pink fluid so out of the bottom of the potatoes. So I was like, okay, it needs longer. So I put it in for 30 minutes on bake, and I did that, and I was like, okay, that looks good, but I'm looking at it and it does not look like it cooked at all on the inside. So I'm going to put it for another 30 minutes on bake. So I put it in for an hour at 300 and something in my air fryer, and I got this, which was the bottom very crispy, very good. The top was entirely uncooked, and then this is the sort of inside. I picked it up and it all flopped. And so I kind of poked at it for a little bit and I had a bite of it and I was like, oh, that meat is still cold, so I probably shouldn't eat all of this. So I had another bite and then I threw it all in a pan. And then I cooked it all down in the pan. Everything kind of basically just burned pretty tough. So that was bad. But today I did it and I cooked the ground beef first, and then actually, you know what? I can go take a picture. I can go take a picture here. I'll go take a picture of my better try at it. Everyone look at this beautiful art and regale in the images. You can eat raw ground beef, by the way. You just, oh no, wait, hold on, you can't. You can eat raw steak. You can't eat raw ground beef. I think that's what it is. Okay. Back. No. You can eat raw meat. You can eat raw meat. You shouldn't, but you can. Depends where you're from. See, it looks better now, right? So I put it in the whole thing. Imagine this like 3 times as long. This is I kind of burn the edges a little bit. But this is cooked beef, and then I have like potatoes on the sides, and then there's cheese on the bottom. And I actually flipped it. There's also cheese on like the very bottom. Cheese between this one and this one. Cheese on the very bottom. I did kind of fuck it up because I looked at spices that I had in a spice rack, and one said savory, and I dumped like half of that on, but it only tastes like expired oregano. So this kind of only tastes like expired oregano. So I ended up taking some pizza sauce I had in the fridge, and I stewed this with my pizza sauce. And then I also threw some gochujang and some tom yum and some sriracha. Also threw a whole bunch of garlic, some extra avocado oil, salt, pepper. Um, I don't have any paprika, cumin, or oregano. So I ate the majority of this, and it wasn't bad. I don't want to eat anymore. I won't be eating anymore. What I'm going to do when I'm done with this is I'm going to fold this on top of this, and I'm going to put it in the fridge, and then maybe tomorrow at like midnight I'm going to walk back in. They did announce new Penguin support. Well, they announced one card for Penguins. Um so back to the art. So this is actually going to be a little bit of information for everyone, for those of you who don't know. So this is another picture of gray concrete. I like the tan lines. I also like, can you guys tell? It's Melfi Wizard. It's our friend Melfi Wizard. Right there, he's right there, right where my mouse is, right up top. Oog. I'm Mockingbird, thank you. Sorry for the stream. It's our favorite guy. Our favorite guy is Melfi Pony, but this is our favorite guy. And apparently this is a gacha game. I don't know if the artist knows. Oh, I think they do actually. So that's this. This is me holding a big plushie of Winston. Think I kind of look more like this, but I think this is because this like outfit is like I described a while ago what I wear all the time as just being like basketball shorts and a t-shirt. And there was one time someone drew me as like having like badass clothes on, and I'm like, no, I don't wear cool things. I wear the most mid things possible. And I need to buy this plushie. I don't have this plushie, but I like him. It's him. It's Monkey. It's my friend Monkey from Winston. Um, we also do have this. So this is another. This. So 3 years ago, no, not even longer. What, 6 years ago? It was pre-COVID. I was like, okay, I've never been good at drawing my entire life. I bought a very cheap drawing tablet. I'm like, I'm just gonna get better at drawing. So we were all in a call, me and like 7 artists whose like full-time job is drawing. And we were all kind of like just like going through different stuff. And they're like, all right, like everyone tell us what you drew. And I drew a whale first. And then someone was like, that's a whale. And I was like, the whale kind of looks like Peter Griffin. And they're like, no, it doesn't. And then I drew the neck and the body and the face. And then I drew the glasses that went back in the hair. And I was like, it's whale Peter Griffin. And they said that doesn't look like Peter Griffin at all. And then I posted it, and everyone was like, "That doesn't. I don't think it looks like what you look like. What you think it looks like." And I was like, "I'm pretty sure I got this drawing thing down pat, and I haven't trained drawing since." I do like this picture though too. Whale, that's a pretty good drawing. So this one over here is even better. The Sandy Delicious Memory. I didn't even see the things that were in here. In this artist Discord, which you can get if you subscribe to their Patreon, they have a channel just called Sanity Slop where people post like dog shit food that they've made. R/Kitchen Cells is on there pretty frequently, and this is a whole like myriad of different things from there, mixed with like yummy things like sliders, which is good, but also you have just like blue. You have this is a scrandle burger. It's like a burger with like little ketchup on it. And it also copies where is yeah, yeah. Uh, Pearly Delicious Memory. So Pearlies, Yummies, and Melfies all share a similar place in my heart because they're beautiful. This is Pearly Delicious Memory. So you can see the food there. This right here is perfect. We all saw your new tab. There's not even anything on that tab. His little noises delight me. Yeah, so Pearly is an archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh that's kind of similar to Yummy and Melfi. In fact, there's very little tiny cute guys. So they took like the inspiration, like you can see the croissants here. They just turned them blue. They turned them blue and floating in water. This is one of the, like, I made like a brick of rice once, that just had shit in it, and it's so sweet. It's so cute. I love this little pog face too. It's so wonderful. I love the Pearlies. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oops. 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 We like to have fun here, folks. Is there other, can I look at like buy Pearly cards? Let's look at the other Pearly cards while we're having fun. What the fuck? Oh, it's Purrely. Purely. So the shtick with Pearly is that there's Pearly and then there's Perlily, which is like a, I don't even know what you call these cards. Like they call them like fairy cats. They're blue for an amazing reason. I'm trying to collect them. Great news for you. There's a very high rarity Pearlies can be had for quite cheap. But so it's, I don't know. They have like wings, but also like ears, and they're cats. They're like, I guess bunny cats, but with wings. So there's two of them. They're strays, and they get adopted. Where's the, yeah? So they're on the Stray Pearly street. My friend Pearly shows like them getting adopted for the first time. So this is someone finding Pearly on the street. They're Eevees basically, yeah. And then the next thing that happens is all these different little memories. There's Pretty Memory, which is them getting all like gussied up. Oh, Pearly Shirley is, yeah, this comes later. Where'd my fucking tab go? Where'd my fucking tab go? My tab go away. Oh, maybe I can do it here. Yeah, this is probably good. Can I like hover over it and make it a little bit bigger? Yeah. And then each of them have little memories. So Sleepy Memory, this is where they find it. So they, yeah, they, you know, they want to play, this one's sleeping. And then like they have a Pretty Memory, they have a Delicious Memory, and when they have these memories, they level up. So when Purely Beauty, or when Pearly has a beautiful memory, Pretty Memory, they become Purely Beauty, which looks like this. And then they could become, with a happy memory, they become Pearly Happiness. And you don't, like, these cards also like rank up into the bigger ones. How hard would a basic Pearly deck be to have for very beginner players? Are worth trying out? It's not bad at all, actually. The good thing about Pearlies is that who said it? Someone said it before. Oh, Ethereal. They create what's called towers. So their whole shtick is to go into X Pearly Noir. There's two X Pearly. So there's E Pearly, and then there's Pearly, E Pearly, and then X Pearly. I like Plump because Plump's really cute too. It's just, that's when they have a happy memory. But X Pearly Noir just basically says this card is unactivated by your opponent's activated effects while it has 5 or more materials. You can get this card out with like 9 to 12 different materials on it, and then you can detach to target one placed on the bottom of the deck. And this is not a once per chain or anything. You can just do this as many times as you want to. So basically, you get into a very, very big cat with a whole bunch of materials on it. You kind of just sit on it. It gets really big. Your opponent can't do anything against it. And then you kind of like slowly wait until you accrue enough resources to, on your turn, eventually go for lethal. So the combo lines are pretty straightforward. The skill expression in this deck comes from like when to interact, and the reason why people don't play it currently, because in the modern meta, there are faster ways to do what Pearly does. Funnily enough, Yummy actually is basically like a faster version of this. Instead of creating a towers as their boss monster, a monster that's huge and unaffected, they create a whole bunch of recursion. So it's hard to interact with them because they're always kind of bouncing back and forth the whole time. Yeah, it is a control deck. So because it's a control deck, it is like you can turbo to the point where you can start controlling. The difficulty is understanding when to control. This person at the top recently playing Pearly Yummy wasn't there. We can look that up actually on this website on ygoprodec.com. We're gonna come here later on when we talk about the modern meta game. There we are. Look, cool. Unknown. 3 unknown unknown decks. 2 at Dortmund, 1 at Toronto. Not Toronto, Toronto. Top 4. Wow, 2 top 4, top 4 and a top 8. That's pretty good actually. But yeah, it's not a bad deck at all. Anyways, yes, these are very, very cute. I love this art very much. And if you want your own art, you can go ask Ubercharge. Patreon.com/ReaperMako for your own art for this way. This was a commission style. I don't know if they're currently offering, but basically I gave them an amount of money and I'm like, just draw whatever you want, take as much time as you want. And after a couple months, they got me this and it was so worth the wait. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. Oh, the boar state. It's like the Avatar state, but for piggies. Where were we? Oh, we talked about my dinners. We talked about all the beautiful things here. We can talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Should we talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! On the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stream? Dare we? Don't we have any questions before we get into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Part of the stream? I'll get into what this is right here. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. So basically every weekend, okay, I'll bite. What's Yu-Gi-Oh? I'm glad you asked. I'm not going to tell you. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck, I mentioned it last time. 3 of you made the exact same joke. Jay made it last. That means that Jay gets punished the most. Every weekend-ish, there are regionals, basically that are like official Konami-sponsored events that are basically like a step up from your local card shop or just playing with friends. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck attempts to record all of the different topping deck lists. So typically top 16, top 32, top 8, top 4, so on and so forth. So you can go to this right here in tournaments, and you can see these are all tournaments. These ones haven't happened yet. You can see October 24th, but these other ones have happened. You can edit the filter to only choose TCG, which is the format we're talking about right now. You can choose up to a date amount or not. And you can choose casual, competitive, premier, world championship. So generally we're looking at competitive and premier. There's only 1 world championship through the entire year. Any crawlers on the board? Crawlers and dangers are not played really at all. So what we're gonna do here is for every, like, you can see some of regionals, some things don't actually have a full like loadout of who was playing what. You can see out of the top 8 here, out of 107 duelists, only 6 decks were known and only 3 deck lists out of the 6. So we're playing with imperfect information here, but it's enough for us to look at what is in the modern metagame and what we are most importantly going to expect to see in the modern metagame. I mentioned it before last stream, but Yu-Gi-Oh! In specifically like crafting your deck. Same with Magic the Gathering, same with any game in a competitive scene, but you are crafting to beat your opponent. That sounds stupid, but there are some times where, like, you can see right here, by representation, Yummy has 20% of the topping decks. Draco Tail has 20% of the topping decks. Mitsurugi has 16. Mitsurugi Yummy, which is a combo of these two, have 10% of the topping decks, right? So that's for the current meta, basically. But if we go back for 6 months, Mitsurugi is overwhelmingly the most popular one. Vanquish Soul is 10%, so on and so forth. So if we were going to like a big tournament 6 months ago, what we're preparing for would be different than what we were preparing for right now. So for the current format, Yummy is effectively the best deck because there's two variants to it, Yummy and Mitsurugi Yummy. Mitsurugi, we looked at it before a little bit. We can take a look at it again. Ame no Habakiri no Mitsurugi, Futsu no Mitama no Mitsurugi, Ame no Murakuma no Mitsurugi, Mitsurugi no Mikoto Saji, Mitsurugi no Mikoto Aramasa, Mitsurugi no Mikoto Kusanagi are the 6 cards that you're going to be focusing on that are monsters, as well as Mitsurugi Prayers, Ritual, and Mirror. So what these cards do, they are all these cards are ritual monsters. So ritual is the oldest summoning condition in Yu-Gi-Oh! It requires a ritual spell, which is this card, and it requires monsters as tribute. What you are attributing basically are the levels, the stars here. So you can see this is an 8-star monster, 8-star monster, 8-star monster. In order to summon these monsters, you must offer as tribute monsters whose level equal to or exceed these monsters here. I think it's actually only equal to. The reason why Mitsurugi is so powerful is because you can use Mitsurugi Ritual to special summon, ritual summon from your deck using tribute cost from your hand or field, or special summon from your hand by tributing monsters from the deck. What that means is that if you have this card in your hand and you have one of these monsters, you can activate it and send 2 of these 3 cards from your deck to the graveyard to pay the cost to get these big guys on the field. And these guys are all very powerful. They have good effects, and all of these monsters, as well as all of these monsters, gain effects when they are attributed. So most of them search for another card in the archetype. So what it means basically is that it's a very recursive, very easy engine that will put big bodies on your field that you can use for other reasons. And this right here is basically like the killer of the archetype. Very cool artwork as well. This is, we just call them, usually just refer to the middle name, so Murakumo. You can see the artwork here. All of the Mitsurugi cards are reptiles, and I think the lore is that Mitsurugi itself is a Japanese, like, mythical sword, and these are like reptiles that are trapped within the sword or are like guardians of the sword. I'm not positive, but I think that's the case. So this guy has 3 effects basically. If he is summoned, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. That's very important because this deck has ways to special summon this monster on your opponent's turn. So imagine you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh, you're comboing off, and then all of a sudden, this guy appears, all your monsters are gone. He has an even better effect as well. When your opponent activates a card or effect, he has to be on the field for this to be the case. You can activate this effect, your opponent can discard 1 card, or that effect is negated. So that's also very powerful. It's what's called an omni negate. It can target when your opponent does basically anything. Yu-Gi-Oh has negates for different things. So there might be a spell and trap card negate. There might be a monster negate. There might be a summon negate. This is an omni negate. It can negate everything. It's the most powerful form of interruption you have in Yu-Gi-Oh. However, it's caveated, with that your opponent has a choice. They can either have that effect negated or they can discard 1 card. In other card games, this might not be that, but this might not be that important. But in Yu-Gi-Oh, this is very, very important. It also means that if you just hold the negate until your opponent has 1 card in, or 0 cards in hand, or 1 card they really need, you might be able just to kind of win from there. And then all of the virtual monsters also have this effect. If it's tributed, you can add 1 Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand. So, like I said before, like the cost of so to use Mitsurugi Ritual to summon either of these guys, you can tribute this guy from your deck. And when you do that, you get him from deck into your graveyard. You also get him, you also get another card back. So like just activating this card can get you a card on the field. You tribute these guys, 2 cards in hand, and an effect of whatever these guys do, which is really, really powerful. So he's sort of the end boss. The other card that Ethereal is pointing out here that's very important is Habakiri. So you can see, I believe, the same sword thing right here. but it's instead of it being purple, it's blue. Oh no, it's a different sword. Yeah, this is a different one of the swordsman swords makers. It's a reptile. So this card came out as like kind of secondary support for the archetype, and it does something very interesting that's been sort of a design philosophy for Yu-Gi-Oh in the recent years. You can reveal this card in your hand. So what this means is that this monster has an effect before it's summoned, before it's tributed, anything. If this card is in your hand during your turn, you can show this card to your opponent and then activate the effect. Special summon one Mitsurugi monster from your deck, then tribute one monster you control. You cannot special summon a ritual monster from your deck. In order to special summon a ritual monster, it has to first be ritual summoned. And this card specifically says special summon, not ritual monster. I want a card that says you may reveal this card. There's nothing else. Look at my card. That is legitimately a thing that happens in Yu-Gi-Oh. There's a different archetype called what's it called? There's a different archetype called Vanquish Soul. And Vanquish Soul does a whole bunch of revealing in Yu-Gi-Oh as well. And there was a tech card played against Vanquish Soul that just as like basically reveal your hand, reveal both players' hands. So there was actually fuck, hold on, wait, no, there's a different card. There's a different card in Yu-Gi-Oh that says like reveal this card to your opponent and then doesn't do anything. Lord of the Heavenly Prison is one card like that. I think there's like a Blue Eyes card. Lord of the. So this is a different card. This is used in Labyrinth. Here's a mind fuck. Where the fuck is this guy? Like if you're looking at this, where the fuck is the Lord? I thought this was his head for the longest time, but it turns out like, yeah, leg, tail, hand, tiny head. I never like got this anywhere. Name something. Yeah, name anything in this image. Do you ever notice the cities in the bottom? I think I've done it because I've done this before. I've like zoomed in and tried to figure out where the fuck this guy is. Also, like his chest piece is here, but his head's here. Like, what a weird like position his body's in. Anyways, yeah, you can activate this effect. This card in your hand becomes revealed until the end of your opponent's turn. This card does say during your main phase, here's my effect. Look at this. You have to keep looking at this until the end of your turn. You cannot not look at this. The arch also did Pep, which has this exact problem. Oh, really? You just hate huge dudes? No. Oh my god. Also, like this the thing Summer I mentioned about like Greebling final boss. Like, look at the amount of shit just going on in this card. Yeah, like tiny head, arm, no elbow, like bendy arm. Look at the fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards also have like a snatchable waist disease where like they have the biggest upper bodies, torsos, giant fucking wings, huge legs, and then just like the little tiniest little pinchable, grabbable waist. As rabbit ears? They're kind of like horns. They're like kind of like ram horns. What his city looks like. Yeah. Whenever I like show player like crazy cards in Yu-Gi-Oh, I usually show them a Divine Arsenal Zeus. Yeah. Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder. Because in my mind, I'm like, fuck yeah, this is like a crazy ass Yu-Gi-Oh card. But it's nowhere near these guys. It's actually like there's so much more going on in these. Anyways, Zeus is cool. Zeus also has a counterpart called Sky Crisis. What's his full name? Like the AAA Thunder Sky Crisis? Typhon, sorry. Superstar Slayer Skyphon Typhon Sky Crisis. Yeah. This card is like basically made so yeah, so if pulled Zeus. This card is like made to be the opposite of Zeus. Also no feet, but they're mechs, so it's okay. Anyways, back to what we're talking about here. So Habakiri says special summon a card from the middle of the from your deck, tribute a card on field. What you're gonna want to do normally is special summon this card, Saji, and then tribute it because it says if it's tributed, add one Mitsurugi spell trap from your deck to your hand. So just by having this card, you can summon this card, tribute it, and then it goes to graveyard, and then you get Mitsurugi Ritual. Now with Mitsurugi Ritual, it's called a modal card. It does two things. You can either this or this, and you can do each of them once per turn. Your cards are either Delightful Anime Guy, Anime Woman, Sick Ass Beast, 10 million parts and things, or Old Card looks like a skin. Yeah, exactly. Shape Snatch. We'll look at Shape. I like Amoeba too. Yeah. Yeah. I remember Shape Snatch. What the fuck? They're called like Amoeba? It is called Amoeba. That's so stupid. There's a guy in there. I never noticed that. Typhon and Zeus are doomed Yaoi. Accurate, actually. Anyways, back to here. So, my Peppa. Show them King of the Fairlimbs. Oh, that's just, yeah, there's a card that basically says if you have 2 level 4 monsters on your field, you can get to Habakiri and then do all this sort of stuff too. That's good in some decks. Anyway, so this is very accessible. Anyways, what I was saying was, so I have Habakiri in my hand. I can activate its effect, get this guy on field, tribute him. He gets me this card. This card says you can ritual summon 1 reptile ritual monster from the deck by tributing monsters from your hand or field whose levels equal the level of the ritual monster. Well, we have Habakiri in hand, so we can tribute Habakiri in order to special summon one of these guys. They hit the field, and then once they hit the field, then Habakiri's effect will allow us to add a Mitsurugi card. So we can add something like Mirror, which is another way to ritual summon, or Prayers, which is another thing. It lets you either add a Mitsurugi monster, or special summon a Mitsurugi monster, or both if you tributed a monster. So Mitsurugi is complicated. It's like a situation where you really have to like sit down and read these cards and understand fully what they're trying to do. But in a vacuum, you can understand that just this one card alone gets basically an end board where you have 2 level 8s on the field, follow up in terms of this, and then summoning either one of these guys. If you are able to get to this guy, it's an Omni Negate with Omni Negate or a discard from your opponent's hand, and he's a special summon, destroy everything on the opponent's board. So it's really, really powerful. In fact, it's so powerful that they're playing it in Yummy, which is like the other best deck, and there's not really too much of a synergy there. There are 2 minor synergies with Yummy and Mitsurugi. The 2 minor synergies are, if you start off with Mitsurugi cards, you will end by special summoning Habakiri and Murakumo on the field. You can go into both of these cards in order to summon the Zombie Vampire. Wow, this guy also has very small details. Look how tiny his fucking face is. Look how broad his shoulders are. That's crazy. Beautiful card, though. This card basically says each player sends the top 4 cards in the deck to the graveyard. Then if any monsters are sent to either graveyard, you can special summon one of those monsters to your field. So if you go for the whole Mitsurugi combo, you can get basically mill 4 cards from your deck onto the field. And then if you just so happen to mill a Yummy card, then you can go into full Yummy combo off of it. That's how it bridges. It's certainly not guaranteed, but because basically once you go through full combo, you're going to get rid of all of these cards. You're down to like, only so many cards that could be that could not be Yummy. So pretty good chance. Plus, if you're playing against a Yummy, you can actually summon their Yummies and do full Yummy combo as well. And then the other way is that we looked at Yummy the other for Yu-Gi-Oh as well. Last time it ends on this card, which is called Herald of the Arclight. Herald of the Arclight has a second effect, which I said not to think about last time. Think about it now. So this card says, it's basically right here. It's also an Omni Negate. When a spell trap or monster effect is activated, tribute this card, negate the activation, and then if this card's into the graveyard, including being tributed, you can add a ritual monster or ritual spell from deck to hand. That means that if you go full Yummy combo, you can get this card in graveyard, and then you can get Habakiri and do full Mitsurugi combo. What the fuck is Herald of the Arclight? All the Heralds look like this. They're not, they look like, yeah, they're just kind of like light with like boosters and shit. There's Herald of the Pure Light. Show me Herald. Google, show me this guy's Herald. Oh, is it not of the Herald of? Yeah, Herald of Pure Light. So you can see that's Herald of Pure Light. We have, I guess Mirage Lights does kind of count. They're kind of just light. Where's yeah, Herald of Ultimateness. I don't like Herald of Ultimateness. He looks bad. Also, this is a like key piece in a older format. Yu-Gi-Oh used to be very into the concept of omni negates. So this is an omnigate. It like if your opponent would do basically anything, you can send one fairy type monster from your hand to the graveyard, negate special summon, and then if you destroy that card. So this was an end board on a with a deck that like if it was uninterrupted, and even if it was interrupted a little bit, it could have 10 omni negates. So you really cannot do like anything. If you have a 5-card hand, you draw to 6 cards. Even if a card that you're playing gets negated and has a graveyard effect, like if you're going up against 10 omni negates, there's almost nothing you can do unless you have a way to subvert like this card entirely. So it made for a very frustrating play pattern. This was early 2020 Yu-Gi-Oh, and the what it felt like was you either went first and put up floodgates, which are like trap cards that just say like your opponent can't do this, or you made monsters that says if your opponent does anything, negate and destroy it. And it was very die roll dependent and very, very bad to play against. In modern Yu-Gi-Oh, I think it's more back and forth, not only both in interaction from the hand, but also like in professional games too. There are instances where someone might just like draw for turn and pass because they draw a whole bunch of non-engine, and then they can like survive to round 3 and then play the game, round 7 and stuff like that. Yeah, Herald of the orange light, green light, orange. Yeah, sorry, purple or green, orange. So these cards actually were some of the first hand traps as well. Yeah, 2008. We put an activates a monster effect. Send this card and one other fairy monster from your hand to the graveyard. Negate the activation if you do destroy it. So all of these cards do that for their specific like spell trap things like that. So these actually have seen play in the modern era. Neither here nor there. Anyways. All fairies fall into Angel, Kirby Enemy, and non-Euclidean Freak. Now there's also just like titted up woman. Where's Angel 07? Why are you not called Angel 07? Oh, it's O, not 0. Hmm. I don't know if Angel's a woman actually. That might not be a human. Yeah, and Herald of Arclight stops it. Yeah. Okay, where are we? Okay, so we're back into Yu-Gi-Oh. So let's hop on Pop. Let's go back over to what we have currently, which is this. Well, actually, we were doing the HT Yummy deck, right? We're doing Hand Trap Yummy deck. That's a cool card, Trap of the Poisonous Scorpion. So what do we have here? We have a deck that is currently trying to stop the opponent before the opponent has a chance to do anything. All of these cards, these 3, 6, 9, 12 cards are basically 1-for-1 interruption. We're going to say if we draw, 4 or 5 cards in our hand, your opponent draws 5 cards in their hand or whatever, and we can trade, hopefully, 1-for-1, have only 1 card in our hand. If that card is a yummy card, we will win the game. These 2 cards are lingering cards. Well, I guess 6 in total. So this one, Mulcharmy Fuwala, says if your opponent tries to special summon from the deck, draw 1 card every time they do that. So we like this for multiple reasons. One is that it gets us into cards that can stop the opponent on our turn, and it also can draw us into cards that stops the opponent on their turn. So we can draw into Dominus Purge, into Infinite Impermanence, into any of these cards that will continually trade, basically. We also have Droll Lockbird. What this card says is after your opponent adds a card from deck to hand, basically cut them off. Neither player can add cards from their deck to the hand for the rest of this turn. This inhibits something that in Yu-Gi-Oh is very common. It's called searching. There are the best archetypes currently will, have a couple cards in their hand or whatever, right? Like, Yummy Cups is a 1-card starter, but outside of Yummy, most of the best decks currently will have their 1-card starter that will find a card in their deck, add it to their hand, and then they'll keep playing, add another card into their hand, play that card, and kind of just go off from there. So this basically can shut off a lot of decks. In fact, Mitsurugi is one of those decks that can shut off, because when they activate Habakiri and they tribute summon that card, they get the ritual into hand. We can control them after that, and then they can no longer search for the rest of the rest of the turn. This prevents them from getting follow up, and if you look back to where we were with the Mitsurugi cards, you'll notice something very important. This is a lawyer game thing. If this card is tributed, you can add 1 Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand, except this card, and special summon this card. So a lot of the combos with Mitsurugi requires you to tribute a Mitsurugi card, put it in grave, activate its effect in grave, and then get it back on the field. However, if this card is tributed, you can add 1 Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand. If we've resolved Droll and Lockbird, they cannot do this first part, and because the second part is a then you can, they cannot activate the second part. So they really cannot do what they're trying to do and go for their full combo if we successfully resolve Droll and Lockbird. And if we look at the modern metagame currently, we see that Mitsurugi is 16% Mitsurugi, 9.7% Yummy. So of the topping decks, a quarter of them are using this Mitsurugi engine. So because this is like a silver bullet, this 1 card answers 25% of the field at least, we definitely want to think about playing it. It also, incidentally, has some good matchups into the rest of the deck. So depending on what Vanquish Soul's hand is, it can stop them. Same with Crystron. It really does hurt Ryziel a lot. It definitely hurts Mermail. It kills Sky Striker. It's another silver bullet to Sky Striker. It kills White Forest. It can hurt Regenesis depending on what their hand looks like. So it's a good card in general. Me stopping my pet from eating something off the floor. Like, what is going on here? Also, Droll and Lockbird does not look that crazy. Droll and Lockbird, we've had this before. The question came up, is Droll and Lockbird a twink or what the deal is? But that's Droll, and that's the Lockbird right there. So we have 3 lingering things and 3 things that can happen on the opponent's turn. This is one mentality we can take into a Yu-Gi-Oh game. We can say, I'm going to make my deck in a way that all I want to do is prevent you from playing on your turn. There is a second way to approach deck building. That is it's basically called playing second, going second, blinding second. What you're going to do is let your opponent do whatever the fuck they want to do. You're just going to give them a thumbs up at whatever they're trying to do and go through everything that they have. And then when it gets to your turn, you're going to draw powerful cards that are called board breaker cards. These cards are going to be able to basically wipe their board out. This is a non-optimized list for going second. It kind of meshes with this philosophy a little bit, but I'll get into the card specifically. So Raigeki says, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Lightning Storm says either destroy all attack position monsters or spell traps your opponent controls. Harpy's Feather Duster says destroy all trap cards spell trap cards your opponent controls. Super Polymerization is an interesting card as well. Discard 1 card, fusion summon 1 fusion monster. Using monsters from either field as material, and most importantly, neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. So this means that if my opponent makes a crazy big board, they've got a trillion negates, they can't use them on this card. This card prevents them from responding, basically. This card is also now generic because of these 2 cards. Mudragon of the Swamps, don't worry about this, it's only this part right here. It only takes 2 monsters with the same attribute, but different types. And Garura takes 2 monsters with the same type and attribute but different names. The attribute is the thing up here, so fire. So at the end board of Yummy is going to have a whole bunch of light monsters. As you look up in the top left right here, all the Yummy cards are light monsters, as well as Herald of the Arc Light. So if we're playing against Yummy and we draw Super Poly, even if their board is crazy, we can get rid of everything just by activating Super Poly, discarding 1 card, and we also get a body out of it as well. So there are other cards as well that are really good into this for board breaking. One of them is Dark Ruler No More. This card says basically negate the effects of all monsters your opponent currently controls. They take no damage for the rest of the turn, so they're guaranteed another turn to live, and they can't respond with monster effects. So for the majority of Yu-Gi-Oh, almost all negates are going to be had in monster effects. There are some exceptions, changes more in game 2 and game 3, but for your first game, Grab the Poison Scorpion was just art of someone stabbing. Yeah, that's a... So this is a Nike collab exclusive card that's only available in Japan. And this right here is a reference to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 or of the anime before they were playing actual Yu-Gi-Oh! All it was, liberals will play Dark Ruler No More, waggle their eyebrows, and go to bed. At least they get to go to bed. Yeah, Nike collab. So there's a part in early Yu-Gi-Oh! Before they actually got to playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Where the pharaoh basically is just like a guy who like inhabits the mind of like a twink, and then he goes around and kind of just like does mischief shit. So I forgot what the lore for this one is, but he kills that scorpion. There was a scorpion about to kill someone who's in his shoe, and he throws a knife to kill the scorpion. Many such asses. That's what I'm saying. We also have some other cards in the side deck here. So Lava Golem. This card says, basically put this card on your opponent's field and remove 2 monsters on their field, and they can't respond to that. So there are some monsters in the game, like Expurrly Noir, that are unaffected by cards. This card is able to get around that by tributing them. This is another card. So you can see there's also a theme. They're called the Ghost Girls. There's Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This is Foot Ash. It's a joke. But we talked before, we have Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. We have Mourner. What's it called? Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. Foot Ash. Yeah. There's 3 Ash Blossoms. This one doesn't exist, but there's Ash Blossom and then there's Foot Ash. People get fucked up by seeing Foot Ash. Got feet. And Ghost Reaper is a very interesting card. It's kind of the sign of an unhealthy format in some ways. The reason it's in the side deck here is I'm kind of testing it out. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, so this is usually on your opponent's first turn when they summon a monster, discard this card, reveal 1 card in my extra deck, then look at your opponent's extra deck and banish all cards with the same name as the revealed card. So in the mirror, if my opponent's playing Yummy, they summon one of their Yummy names, I can activate Ghost Reaper, discard it, and then banish all of their Yummy Snatchy, which means that they cannot access Yummy Snatchy. Now, they can still, because the 2 field spells have an effect in Grave to put back 2 Yummy monsters and themselves, and yeah, the field spell itself into the deck. So if I do this, the opponent gets a field spell into their grave, then they can put back the Snatchies and continue to combo off. However, Pure Yummy plays both field spells. Mitsurugi Yummy does not play both field spells, and the easiest way to get one of these cards into grave is by playing the other field spell over it. I would rather die than not being able to hang out with Yummy Snatchy. That's what I'm hoping. So long story short, I am expecting at the next big tournament that Mitsurugi Yummy is going to be probably I think it's currently the most powerful deck, I would say. It's probably the best deck in the current format because unless people start teching against it, this is a tech against it. Playing this card in order to get rid of all their cards is a tech against it because they only play the one field spell. Um, so this is this deck. This deck is a theory. It's not built very well. But it also makes another kind of mental decision. So earlier on, I talked about the lingering things that our opponent does. Molcharmi Foolos is probably the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. Because whenever your opponent special summons from deck or extra deck, you draw one card. The opponent knows how powerful that is. They're going to stop playing. And maybe give you only 1 or 2 draws and then end on what's called a half board, a weaker board that has fewer interruptions than their full board to prevent you from drawing too many cards. There's a theory in Yu-Gi-Oh! That basically says if your opponent has 20 cards in their hand, it doesn't really matter what your board is, you're going to lose. So you usually respect these cards when they're dropped and kind of go less ham. As mentioned before, this card special hits. This card draws when your opponent special summons from deck or extra deck. There's also Molcharmi Meows, which draws when your opponent special summons from graveyard or banished. There's also Perulia, which is what I'm thinking about playing in this deck currently. This card draws when your opponent special summons or normal summons from their hand. Now, every deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is usually going to special summon from their hand at least once. It's rare that that's not going to be the case. So what this card almost always does is trade 1 for 1. However, that's typically not good enough. So you want to play this card when the opponent is going to be special summoning from the hand with an amount of consistency. Yummy, over the course of their full combo, might special summon from hand 3 to 4 times. So this will inevitably stop Yummy from going like crazy. Draco Tail might special summon from hand once, basically with 1 normal summon. So we're expecting this card to go card neutral in this matchup. Mitsurugi special summons from hand at least once or twice. Malice actually special summons from the hand a good amount, probably depending on like the way it all shakes out, maybe upwards of 4 to 5 times. Vanquish Soul special summons from the hand a lot, as well as Ryziel, this card over here. So Perulia is a card that usually can trade for itself, get you 1 draw at least. But more importantly, it might bait out your opponent's Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring so that you can utilize your Molcharmi Foolos without it being negated. So that's the mentality for playing this card here. This is not a current meta popular card. And in fact, this deck format and structure is very strange. I would argue wrong in many different ways. But what's the point of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! If not to experiment and try to kind of understand what the format may look like? So here's what we're going to try to do with this deck. We're going to try to go second. 50% of the time, our opponent will win the die roll and they will go first. The other 50% of the time, we will win the die roll and choose to go second. This is going to scare our opponent, because doing that is very rare. And as a result, the average deck currently might look something like this. This is the wrong deck. It won't look like that. It'll look like this. So almost every deck, because it's playing Molcharmi Foolos, is and it's also playing Droll and Lockbird. If we are going second, these cards are probably going to be dead. The opponent basically has to just pass going first and try to use them on our turn. And if they do that, we can win. Yummy can put up through, I think it's 3 draws from Foolos. It can put up 8,000 points of damage and win the game. So unless they are able to interrupt us fully, we can really win in second turn. That's the thought of the thing. What about Triple Tactics? Yes, so Triple Tactics Thrust and Triple Tactics Talent. Where are we? Here. Triple Tactics Thrust says if your opponent has activated a monster effect this turn, it's a spell card. You can only activate it during your turn. Set 1 normal spell or trap from your deck, except itself, or if your opponent controls a monster, you can add it to your hand instead. What this card is trying to do when we're going second is typically the opponent will have a board set up with some monsters that have some effects. And as we start playing, they will activate a monster effect. This will allow us to add any normal spell trap from our deck to our hand. That might be cards that are breakers, like Duster, Storm, or Raigeki. It also be cards that are called extension, which is things like Skystriker, Mobilize, Engage. This lets us add this card from our deck to our hand. And this card summons this card, which also summons this card back, which basically gets us into full Yummy combo. I showed it off last time. We also can draw a card called Triple Tactics Talent. This card says if your opponent's activated a monster effect during your main phase, activate one of these effects. Draw 2 cards. That's Pot of Greed. Take control of one monster your opponent controls until the end phase. That's Change of Heart. Notice that that monster can still attack. That monster can still activate its effects. We just get to take it. It also doesn't target. So if we activate this card, the opponent has to look at their cards that they control and think, okay, which one are they going to take? Which effect should I use? Yada, yada, yada. The third one is Confiscation. Look at your opponent's hand, which is great because you get hand knowledge. That's very important because you might be going for lethal and your opponent might only win if they have 1 or 2 cards in their hand. If you can resolve this card, you can look at the opponent's hand and see what they have there. And then it shovels it into the deck. So it also gets rid of it. So this is a very, very powerful card. It's limited to 1 copy. It is extremely strong. In Master Duel, it's, I think, not limited. I almost always played at 2 or 3. It is a card that your opponent has to do something. So it's really good going second. It's still pretty good going first. But there are occasional times where your opponent might not have monster effects to activate, and it's just a dead card in your hand. So my favorite thing with Multron was you can activate them when you have something in the field. Yeah. So the problem with the other card I showed last time, Max C, that card can be activated whenever, and it just says whenever your opponent special summons a monster, draw a card. The Mulcharmies mean that your opponent you cannot have anything on your field. So I can't make my whole field and then activate the Mulcharmies and draw continuously while my opponent is playing. It's only when I'm basically about to go. So okay, let's actually go back to talk about one more thing. I'm gonna find it. That Ryzeal deck list. Here we are. Okay. So YCS Anaheim was a deck that, was an event. Hello, Yummy Puppy. Foot. Oh, I didn't even notice that. That is a foot. Whose fucking foot is that? Oh, it's from Onomato Kage. Whose fucking foot is that? So YCS Anaheim was the most recent YCS. YCS is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship series. As you can see, 1,600 duelists. The rest of the tournaments that I've kind of shown you guys have been like 200 to 300 duelists. The YCSs are typically the biggest format for Yu-Gi-Oh! I think the biggest one we've had in the States is like 2,900. In Japan, they had one that was 5,000, I want to say. So they get very large. During this format, there were a couple decks that were predicted to do very well. Before this format, a lot of decks looked like... Where are we? This. So, as mentioned before, the theory behind this deck is that I'm going to try to trade 1-for-1 on interactions with my opponent. If my opponent only has 1 or 2 pushes and I draw 3 pieces of non-engine, they're not going to be able to play, and I'll be able to win the game. The way to beat a deck like this is you play more engine. You play multiple pushes. So in this deck, the quote-unquote pushes are basically normal summoning a Yummy monster and then trying to do the full combo from there. If they're able to stop that normal summon, getting the card on field, going into the rest of these guys, you don't really have a second way to play the game. That's why Mitsurugi Yummy came out. If you normal summon Cupsy and they're able to stop that and you can't go into your Yummy cards, well, if you have Habakiri in your hand, you can continuously keep playing. You can play the whole what's it called, Mitsurugi engine. This culminated in Triff Gaming, which we talked about before, where Yumslop. He played this 60 card kind of weird pile. You have Yummy, you have Mitsurugi, and then you have about 8 other cards that kind of help get to both engines. What this is trying to do is say, I'm going to open up a hand that has 3 or 4 ways to play, and if you draw a hand that has 3 or 4 ways to stop me, you might only have 1 card in the hand, and you might not be able to play at all. So, this deck, as you can see, what it does is it forgoes entire. You do have the burger. You do have the burger. You have the angry burger. What it forgoes is during the opponent's first turn, it forgoes interaction. So with the against this deck, right? The board that this deck makes is basically an Omni Negate and then all the yummy stuff, which you can play through if you play board breakers, basically. This gets at a concept I'll probably try to get to in a little bit. Yeah, so you can see he's playing board breakers. Forbidden Droplet is a board breaker. Harpy's Feather Duster is a board breaker. Metaltronus is a board breaker. These are cards that only are going to be activated on your turn, basically the second turn of the duel. And what this, there's also more board breakers in the side. These are more cards that are going to basically say, if I'm going second, I'm going to win the game. The reason why is because this deck is very ignorant of hand traps, and it doesn't play them either. So the opponent, he basically just says, yeah, combo off, like Solren says, I don't need to interact. I'm going to hit you with a car once you're done building all of this. The counter to this, so we've had the first development. The first development is basically quote unquote fair 1-for-1 hand traps. I'm going to play as many as I possibly can to try to stifle the opponent. And if they're on a mixture of engine and hand traps that are kind of like light, basically like half and half, I have more pushes and I have more hand traps than they do because the yummy engine is very small and very concise. The answer to that was I'm going to play more engine. So I can basically negate all of these hand traps. And then for the board that you do make, the uninterrupted board that you do make, I have cards that can answer that board exactly. I'm playing so many cards, I can basically do both. The way to beat that is this deck. So both this deck, which is Crystron Canine, as well as this deck, which is Onomat Ryziel, both do the same thing, basically in concept. They do something that everyone hates. It is not fun. It's not interactive. It is smart. It is legal, but it makes for a very frustrating game. This deck is not the most resilient. I think if you played 100 games of this deck versus the very high hand trap count decks, like the hand trap yummy list that I showed before, that's like majority hand traps, this deck probably would lose a majority of the time. If you're able to stop, if this deck only really has these cards for starters, and almost all of them require a normal summon to work, and if you can stop that or get to a choke point and stop that choke point, they will lose the game. But this deck, the deck that was the very engine heavy deck, does not play ways to stop your opponent on their turn. So this deck is a fragile 1-turn kill. What it attempts to do is summon this card, Arch Nemesis Protoss. This card was banned and then it was unbanned, and we don't know why. You can ignore the summoning condition. Basically, it says just declare one monster attribute that's on the field, destroy all monsters with that attribute. Also, until the end of the next turn, which is the opponent's turn, neither player can special summon monsters with that attribute. So what this means is that this prevents, so if someone did this and called light, that means I can summon no yummies on my turn. And if I'm playing that hand trap deck, or even if I'm playing the heavy engine deck, If you can't summon a Yummy, you are going to lose the game. You need to be able to go Yummy. You have to get Yummy. You have to get as Yummy as possible. And if you are prevented from Yummying, you will lose. It also backs up this card with very powerful other extra deck cards. So this card right here, Ryziel Detonator, basically says whenever your opponent activates an effect, you can destroy a card in the field. You can do that up to the amount of materials it has. Usually it's 3 to 4 materials. So that's very, very good. 3 to 4 pops as well. It also has this card, number 41, Baguska, the Terribly Tired Tapir. Basically says turn all monsters to defense position, and if they attempt to activate their effects are negated. So this deck is a more ignorant, more like, I'm gonna hope the opponent doesn't interact with me, and if they don't, I'm going to win the game. It's the same concept here with Canine Crystron, with a deck that actually won the event. It attempts to summon this card, Artifact Mjolnir. You could ignore basically all of this, but if this card is special summoned during your opponent's turn, nope, sorry. Yes. Target one artifact monster in your graveyard, special summon it into position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters until the end of the next turn except artifact monsters. So this card locks the opponent. It reads very strangely, but what it does is it says that if I'm summoning this card to my opponent's field, my opponent cannot special summon monsters except for artifact monsters, and no one plays artifact monsters. As a result, this locks them out of the game entirely. So this is the sort of frustrating answer to a very engine heavy format. If my mentality is that I'm going to be playing back, I'm going to let my opponent do whatever and then just build a car and break them, and before I even can start building my car, they shoot me in the chest with a shotgun, I'm gonna lose. There's not much you can do. The finals of this game was it was a best of 3. It went to 3 games. No actions were taken on turn 2. In turn 1, Kamal went first and got the artifact lock off, preventing his opponent from special summoning. Game 2, Cameron Neal went went first. He was able to do his full combo, which basically is an Omni Negate, all the Yummy stuff, and some extra stuff as well from Mitsurugi. Game 3, Kamal went first and got the artifact lock off. So as opposed to it being back and forth and hyper interactive, it was very much not the same. So what the result from that was, and kind of the shift in the metagame, is that we kind of now have a triangle. You can play this sort of like somewhat fragile but very explosive one-turn kill style deck. But in theory, this deck will lose to this deck. The very one-for-one trading kind of fair, high non-engine count deck. However, this deck puts up a far weaker end board than the bigger engine decks do, like Mitsurugi Yummy, and like that 60 card pile that I called Yum Slop. So the triangle is this deck right here, this Yum Slop 60 card only engine. This will lose to the instant one-turn kill decks. The instant one-turn kill decks lose to the high hand trap interaction count decks, and the high hand trap interaction count decks lose to the high engine decks. So it's difficult to build for the next format, because the question comes up of, if that paradigm is true, if that triangle exists, the only way I can win is if I know what my opponent's playing. The only way that I can really do well is by understanding what the average player is going to be on. If they are, on the heavy engine count, if they're on the one-turn kill, or if they're on the heavy non-engine counts. Because if I know what everyone else is playing, then I can build a deck that is basically an answer to whatever that is. From what we saw at YCS Anaheim, we might see a return of these basically one-turn kill decks. If that's the case, playing something like this very high hand trap interaction deck would be very, very good. But if it's not the case, and the heavy engine decks are still there, this deck gets ruined. So this is the difficulty that we have currently. This is the impasse that we are at for the time being. Where do we want to play? Which is why I was sort of thinking up this deck. So board breakers in general in Yu-Gi-Oh! Going second historically has been a mixture between good and bad. Going second against a deck that has high engine count but isn't necessarily a one-turn kill is doable but difficult. Going second against a deck that, this is, by the way, this is choosing second on the die roll. Building a deck with breakers in it as opposed to basically hand trap interaction, making your opponent go first, and then just trying to break whatever board they have set up. Going second against the very high hand trap decks usually is pretty good. You draw an extra card and you can usually win the game from there. It's difficult against the very high engine count decks, and you are probably going to lose against the decks that just try to kill you out of the sun. So the theory behind this deck is that we are already going to win against the high hand trap count decks. That's what these cards are in here for. Against the high engine decks, we're playing these cards that basically say if our opponent continues to play the game, we are going to accrue more advantage and potentially win off of that. And then if we somehow roll poorly and play against the FTK decks, we can play these 6 cards basically. Droll and Lockboard will try to shut off those decks from reaching the pieces they need, and Infinite and Permanence will try to negate the pieces that they need to win the game. Both of the one-turn kill decks have a very singular choke point that if you're able to stop will prevent the one-turn kill from going off. In this deck, it is Imperial Princess Conquieri, which says, detach one Material Prince card, target a level 5 monster either graveyard, special summon its either field. This is the FTK deck. This is what it will do. And then for Onomat Ryziel, it is this card, Arch Nemesis Protoss. So both of those cards, if you can prevent access to it or negate the effect, potentially we can win. So that's the theory behind the deck. We're playing 43 cards because we are going to expect to draw a 6th card on our turn, so we can play a little bit higher of engine count. While we're doing that, we're not playing, I wouldn't say, the best cards for the format. Dominus Purge is a card that kind of functions as a second Ash Blossom, but that might not be the best. So yeah, we're going to take this for a spin. We're going to see how it goes. We are playing in silver, so not really the YCS champion level. We're kind of playing at a lower level. Hello, Chaos Blast. Yexi, thank you. But with that in mind, well, we're going to try to keep these sort of like thoughts in our head while we're playing. The other thing that going second does in Yu-Gi-Oh, which I'll get to your question if you're on a second, but the other thing that going second to Yu-Gi-Oh off the rip is it fucks with your opponent's head. Mr. Maybe, thank you. Wait, why didn't it? No sounds. We've all died. No sounds. It fucks with your opponent's head because they might not know what you're on or what you're doing. Usually in Yu-Gi-Oh, if you win the die roll, you go first. Game 2, if I win the die roll, if my opponent won the die roll and they sent me first after game 1, and then I lost, and then game 2, I have a decision to make. Do I make my opponent go first or go second? If I make them go first and their deck does stuff going first, but this deck does do stuff going first, I might lose. But they might have already sided for going second. They might be expecting to go second. So do I send them first on the expectation that they're going to still try to play going second? Or do I let myself go first? Try to build a board that can't be broken and play from there. So that's the other thing we're trying to do here. We're trying to fuck with people's heads. What kind of FTK decks are even in the meta? So for the FTK decks, we have Crystron, K9, basically almost any Canine variant can do the FTK stuff of preventing you from special summoning. Ryziel with Onomat can get to Protoss. That's an FTK. I think Vanquish Soul, I think this one's also playing the artifact package. Oh, it's not. Okay, this is just heavy engine, low non-engine. This one playing it. No, this one's not. White Forest. White Forest is not an FTK deck. It just puts up a lot of negates. This is Yummy. I was like, why am I seeing Yummy cards in this White Forest deck? Oh god, it's 60 cards too. Yeah, this is also just like heavy engine. I think honestly that's kind of it. Yeah, K9 also does the lock too. What's crazy about this tournament is that out of the top 32 decks, there were really only 2, 3 maybe FTK sort of decks. But the verbiage that came off of this, the viewer experience from this deck, from this format, was that Yu-Gi-Oh is basically at an end because these quote unquote FTK decks were like running rampant. People saw these decks win top 32, top 16 or whatever on stream. But if you look at the larger format, it actually wasn't really that. It was more engine v engine and hand trap versus engine wars. Yu-Gi-Oh is fascinating and sure like an eldritch being hovering on the edge of my perception. Well, if you have any questions, I am here to answer them. Yu-Gi-Oh, I think, is something very interesting too, because like other card games, it is as much of a card game. Like in the same way when you are playing a TCG, you are playing your cards, but you're also playing your opponent. When you are deck building, when you're playing for a thing, you are not only choosing the best cards to go into your deck, you're also choosing what the best cards your opponent will play, and then trying to one up your opponent. Choosing this deck and choosing this deck to bring to this format were a mind game. These decks are decks that are made to, they're picks that are against the meta that are made to win tournaments, not to get a top 8 at a tournament. In fact, it's probably far more difficult to get to a top 8 with a deck like this or a deck like this because they're so specifically made to counter a modern meta trend. We actually saw the same thing as well at the previous YCS. Where is it? Where is it? Show me Odeon. Show me man. Here we are. Oh, it's not here. It was last format then, last ban list. The tier 3 last ban. Show me Odeon. Yeah, so YCS Lille, which is a 2,200 person deck or event rather, was won by this, which is a very, very different style of deck. This deck is very, very crafted to beat the current meta threats, but it kind of loses to some rogue options. So if you're playing and you do poorly in your matchups and you play a deck where that's not the meta, you might lose. And a deck like this can't win the tournament, but it did. So anyways, that's some thoughts on metagaming, some thoughts on format warping. And real quick, let's talk about the side deck here. So I already talked about Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. This comes in against Yummy, which we're expecting to be roughly 30% of the current format. So I mean, a third of the time, this card might just win us the game. That's awesome. It also is not a guaranteed win every single time. There's ways to go around it. The opponent might not know them. Draco Tail, we have kind of no answers for. However, the board that Draco Tail puts up is very fair and very breakable. So I'm hoping that if we go second against Draco Tail, we might just be able to win off of the backs of our board breakers that we're playing. Mitsurugi is answered by Drolan Lockbird, as well as these board breakers. They put up powerful engines or powerful boards, but ones that still can be broken. Same with Mitsurugi Yummy. Malice is a deck that was very powerful a couple of formats ago, no longer as powerful, but it's kind of beginning to creep up right now because Malice does not die to the same silver bullets that other modern decks die to. So we're putting in the silver bullets for Malice. Artifact Lancia is a card that just says your opponent cannot banish cards. Malice, the only way they play is by banishing cards. So this is a lot of side deck investment into the 5th best deck in the format currently. But my expectation is that at the next big tournament, we're going to see more Malice. So potentially it'll pay off. That's also the same for Lunalight. Lunalight is a deck that makes what's called a Towers, a monster that's basically unaffected, and the only way to get, you think it'd be Pure Malice or Malice at Ignister? Malice at Ignister. Pure Malice doesn't exist anymore. It's only Malice at Ignister. The only way to get rid of the Lunalight monsters is by tributing them. So we're playing Lava Golem and 1 copy of Dark Spirit's Mastery. This card basically just says search Lava Golem, but because it's a normal spell, we can get it off Triple Tactics Thrust. So that's the reason. Again, another 3 cards in the side deck that are spec'd only for, at this point, 3% of the metagame. Not great, but it also does cover some rogue matchups. So maybe it's here. Maybe it'll work. And then the rest of these, I mean, we're talking about decks now that are like, 1%, 2% of the format. Hopefully we'll be fine. Well, it kind of makes sense the Lava Golem's a fiend. Look, he's got like bones going out of him and shit. Got skulls and skeletons. Okay. Oh, what did I... Oh, I moved this over. What I changed. All right, let's go. Let's try to fuck up some people's brains. Hopefully they win the die roll. I don't want to have to choose to go. They got, okay. So they're going to send us second, which is great news. That's actually really great news. Because they're holding in draw phase. Ooh, does this stop water effects? Oh, it does. Okay, we're going to activate Perulia. So this card again lets us draw 1 card when the opponent is going. Why are choosing Lava Golem over a Kaiju? It's because we can search the Kaiju. Sorry, search Lava Golem. Lava Golem though does require a normal summon, so it's not good. But we might be in a situation where if we can play, we might be able to get to Marshmallow, which doesn't require a normal summon. How's Yu-Gi-Oh, Ben? This is our first game. Oh, we're on the wrong screen. It seems to be the live scene. There we go. Now we're full screen, baby. Now we're full screen, baby. What the fuck is happening? There we go. Fall into my yummy slumber. It's working! Oh, we're gonna do this. And prevent that card from hitting the field again. That's pretty good. Dominus Pert. Ah, so it is Mitsurugi Yummy. We drew into full Wallace right there, which is great. Wow, we now have 2 board breakers. This is usually almost no decks can beat 2 board breakers. 2 board breakers and a starter is like the best a Hungry Growing Boy can ask for. That is going to be Mitsurugi Prayers. So what we can do is we'll do this first to destroy this spell and traps. This will get this guy off the field. They're going to Synchro Summon here and get a guy in defense position. That's totally fine. We're then going to go Feather Duster in order to get the rest of the cards off of the field. This is making feel like my brain is like being like warped. I feel like my forehead's getting run over by a steamroller right now. A little loud. Jeez. Okay. Let's go Triple Tactics Thrust. We are going to grab our favorite card. Triple Tactics Talent. Is that good or bad? The fact that my brain feels like it's being rolled by like a big Steam thing. I don't know. It just feels strange. So here's what we can do. If we just take one of their monsters, we win the game. They can't do anything. Whoa, Lidl Snacks. So good to see you. And then we've got our Yummy Cupsy. Go into Yummy Cupsy way. We're going to grab 2 pitch 1. I don't think we need Lollipo right now. They haven't scooped, so I'm going to assume they have something like Nibiru the Primal Being in their hand. But we will see. Oh, I actually needed to summon him. I'm actually kind of being a little bit of a Goofus in a Gallant situation right here. Here's what we're gonna do though. This is crazy. What we're doing now is crazy. We're like actually kind of crazy for doing this.
Follow me to a place called Teo. A magical planet in a faraway galaxy.
I'm vibing to Fin. I need to go see him.
And now, get ready for your best friend.
Oh, my best friend! Alright, here comes Nibiru. Oh, that was the wrong guy to summon. I think we just lost. Oh, I'm not locked in at all, dude. I'm locked out. Yeah, this can't do anything. Whoops. Well, we had won that game, but I wasn't paying attention, so we lost the game. Always saying that.
Follow me to a place called Teo.
Okay. Let's go.
A magical planet in a faraway galaxy. Walk through the Subu woods.
We're gonna go
Bells.
Cookie Yummy. We're gonna try to sync his attack. And then we're going to synchro summon into a guy I like to call, I forgot his name. It is Yummy Cookie Way. Yummy Cookie Way will put him face down. That prevents them from using him as a material for a link summon.
He is there. He is almost everywhere. He has come to be your friend.
Is it normal that this song has like a guy rapping over it? I'm just smiling and kind of noddling along to the beat.
To love and understand him. Play with him, sing along, or otherwise he'll be gone. Take care of him all the time, and he will come change your mind, 'cause he has come to be your friend.
Has come to be your friend. Okay, the good news is that my opponent didn't play this well. We can go into Lollipo Yummy Way. these two. That allows us to use our special effect here in order to destroy this guy. Then we can go this guy to summon back 2. Okay. So we almost fumbled that, but we didn't, which is good. Be your friend. That means that we can put in this card, Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries, 3 of them. 3 of them damn things get to go in. This card is pretty bad against Yummy. It's pretty good against the Mitsurugi engine, but actually because of that, let's be a little bit smarties here. We're going to expect we're going second again. We're going to cut down on our engine. We're drawing an extra card, so we can probably do that. All right. So if we go second and we draw Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries, there's a pretty good chance we win the game instantly. We are going second. We've drawn Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. Let's see if we can win the game instantly. Bim, bim. Bim, bim. I think they keep like getting to the point where they're gonna say Fin, come and see him, and they don't. It's like heartbreaking.
Cause he has come to be your friend.
It's a 5-minute long song. Hey, this is the Pokemon Coliseum battle music. That seems applicable to the situation. Watch out. I'm battling here. There may be more than one Fin song. I mean, yeah, I guess. Okay, great news. Let's do this. Show you, look at my Yummy Snatchy. And now, goodbye to all of your Yummy Snatchy. Your Snatchy has been snatched. Let's go back to Fin. Put your Fin on the phone. Everything they're doing here is expected. They're just doing the Mitsurugi combo. If they try to go for Zombie Vampire, that's not going to do anything. It's probably just going to end on this. The Clock of Fin with PHs. Oh, this is the one that made me feel like my brain was getting rolled over. We have other ones. How about normal come and see him? Let's watch that. Boom, 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 boom. This will let us get into full Yummy combo without having to worry about. This is totally fine.
Follow me, we will make it a trip, and you will find something new that goes cheep, cheep, cheep. And when you see him the first time,
Okay, that's bad.
you will love him, love him. Fin, my little friend, he's so sweet, and when he's hungry,
God, that's so true. He is so sweet.
fruits to eat.
He gets fruits to eat.
All alone in midnight heat.
All right, we're not playing SP Little Knight. If we were, this could be lethal, but it's not, so we've lost the game. Come and see him, love and never leave, always and forever. He's your best friend. Wait, there's a Fin come and see him too? From 12 years ago? Let's cue that one up. This makes me think about walking on the beach barefoot.
Everybody look on the screen.
We're going to go second. There we go. That's a good card. I didn't know if Infinite's a game you can actually play. I thought he was a Tamagotchi.
We go crazy, crazy. Come and see him. Love and will believe him. Always and forever. He's your best friend. Come
It's a PC game? Is it on Steam?
will believe him. Always and forever. He's your best friend.
Do 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 do. Well, they can put things that are old on Steam too. You can feed him fruits and make him sing and dance. Is like, do you get points? Is there like an FPS element? I think I would like to make Finfin happy. I think I would like to do whatever I can to make Finfin happy. You can run Santa Claus with Kingsmith tracks. Yeah, but if I'm doing that, I can just play 3 kaijus. It's kind of the same thing, though. Yeah, he's like Bonsai Buddy, right? That being searchable off thrust. Well, yeah, same with Dark Boots Mastery. The question is if you want 1 tribute or 2 tributes. Also, he's not getting 1 draw. They only get a draw if it goes to the end phase. We're gonna win that turn. Is this the same song? It is. This is the same song. Why do they say it's number 2? Oh, I could listen to Taylor Swift Opalite. I don't want to do that. Where's Plock? Someone show me Plock. Where's my friend Plock? Ugh, I can't find my friend Plock, dude. I'm fucked. It was near the Finfin songs in the playlist. Listen to this while I'm looking for Plock. Oh, I found it fucking immediately. Show me Cowboy. Think Opalite is the racist one? Let's go! Yeah, it doesn't use your normal summon. So Triff was playing Lava Golem. I think it honestly might have just been because he was doing what's it called? Full what's his puppy? What's that puppy name? Full Mitsurugi combo. And you not need your normal summon if you're going off of that, but could be wrong. Alright, 3 set cards is troubling. We know at least one of these is what's it fucking called? The guy. Wait, how the fuck did they get banished? Don't you need that? How did you banish this card? You don't. I think you really need that card. Okay, so one of these is going to be Yummy Surprise. One of these is going to be Mitsurugi Prayers. We're gonna do this to call Light. Shocking there's only one racist song on that album. Well, the other song's about sex. Okay, and then they're going to try to special summon a card. We are gonna say that's fine. Doing this and calling Light kind of means that they're fucked, by the way. Well, at least until we go off. Hashtag sex. I guess I probably should have put him down here. Cause I could just normal summon and go off, and then they can't activate any light monster effects. I might have goofed it a little bit. I want to, if I can, see if I can wait until I can get value out of the Shark Cannon. This has banished one card in the opponent's graveyard. But if I can get up to 3 spells in grave, I can activate Engage and draw one as well. That's baller. And if we... one of the rules here is that if we can never be baller, we're going to try to be baller. We are not going to activate Cookie Yummy effect here. Now, here's the other thing I can do. I can go Engage to get another spell in the grave, and then I can activate Shark Cannon and special summon back their Herald of the Arclight. That's potentially very good. That means that we will be able to, what's it called? Yeah, actually, let's do that. Let's go Engage now. We get an Omni Negate if we get this guy out. That's pretty powerful. That was troubling. What the fuck was that noise? Oh, there's a Goofy scream coming in 10 seconds? Nope, this is a trombone. Oh, that's Goofy. Like, actually Goofy. That's funny. Goofy spotted. Go spell. That's fine. Oh, there's 2 Goofy screams. Alright, unfortunately we've lost this game. We can normal summon here. They can activate this effect in order to Book of Moon this card, and we can't really do anything. So what have we learned? We've learned that a pretty good hand of board breakers just cannot beat this board. We'll try it once more. We'll try it once more. We'll do the gimmick once more. Maybe we should even buy into it a little bit more. We can play some more board breakers in this. I'm not sure what I want to play, though. Oh, you know what? We could try the other thing. We could try the Fiendsmith's Tract with 2 copies of Santa Claus. Try that out. We also want to play SP Little Knight, which we don't currently play. Maybe we side out one of these cards. Yeah, let's side out 1 copy of Yummy Snatchy and play SP Little Knight. This is what Triff Gaming does. 2 might be enough. Especially since we can recycle him. Alright, I grow tired of the Sonic OST. Find me a new one. This is the Snipperclips soundtrack. Wow. Uh-oh. They've made me go first. I lost the dice roll and they made me go first. That's a bad, bad sign. And they're not interacting with me. They're about to do some crazy shit on my balls. $60 cards going second. That seems crazy, crazy. This is all the normal yummy cupsy combo. Yummy cupsy. Yummy cupsy. We're gonna expect they have nothing. We're gonna play as greedy as humanly fucking possible. Actually, get this guy out first. Because now we can go into these two. Into the Starham. We're gonna pitch this guy. Grab back this guy. He will allow us to go into this guy. What's the sound? Why, it's the sound of the Greed Piggy, and his name is Us. We also are going to need to go into Lollipo Yummy Way. Lollipo Yummy Way effect. We're going to need to get out... Oh, this might be a Goofus and Gallant moment. Do we have a way? Yeah, I think we actually have to do this. We have to do this so that we can get these two off for this guy. Go his effect in order to special summon this guy out. This guy can now do nothing. And then we special summon this guy so that we can go into this guy. And then we leave it there. Okay. So actually these two can be special summoned out in order to go into SP Little Knight. Okay. Just another little interaction there. Little interaction for the friends. All right, and then we will pass. So this is Yummy setup. It's also an Omni Negate. We also have Surprise to bring back more Yummies if need be, and we have an Ash Blossom against 6 cards in a 60 card deck. So not terrible. It's probably not as powerful as some archetypes, but not terrible. Now, maybe the reason that they made us go second is because they're not playing. Oh, what? Sorry, they're playing... Oh my god, they're playing the God cards. What the fuck? I guess I Ash Blossom this? I don't want them summoning 2 cards from deck for free. This card is a card you used to play in Branded because it, Ah! What the fuck? No! This card says you can't, you cannot special summon monsters except by the effect of Ra's Disciple. Oh, they just passed turn. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I don't know what the fuck they're cooking, but they're going to die by my blade. That I can promise. I think I can do this. To spec my Yummy. We can do this also to sync. Then I think if I get this guy on field also, it'll also buff my guys up. All right, let's go battle. 16. 1k. Oh my god, did they have like a god card thing that makes them like golden reflect slime or whatever the fuck it's called. 32? Okay, no, they just only had 2 activatable cards. We're playing against children, folks. As if gods could do anything against me. The god cards are really bad. They're weird because they're like really bad. Especially in a 60 card deck. My fear was that they had found some goop with them that like incorporated a meta strategy in there, and they kind of crazy hadn't. But also they made me go first, which makes me want to side in everything I have for going first now. They're playing the same mind games I was trying to play. He's back again, folks. Our 5th Fin. I heard you wanted to see him. Come along with me. Oh, whoops, it's already in my hand. All right, that's a waste of an activation. Cheap. Cupsy way. Yummy Cupsy. 1, 2. Pitch Lightning Storm. Now we go for Yummy Cookie. Now we go into the Martial Metal. Nope, we go to Starham. Starham effect pitch. We're gonna be greedy again, folks. Why have a piggy card, a little greedy piggy card in your deck, if you will not become the piggy? That's what I say. Best friend. Yep, Marshmallow. Marshmallow, give me that back. Then now we can go Marshmallow into Snatchy. We can go Librarian here into Cookie. And then now we can go Lollipo. In order to go effect here to bring back 2. 1, 2. And then we can go effect here. And then we can go effect here in order to get this guy out. Okay, this is probably enough. Unfortunately, this guy can't do anything, but I think we'll be fine. Okay, real talk. Do you think Yummy Cookie and Fin would be friends and play toys together? Yeah. Cookie right here kind of has that like 1,000-yard stare, but he emotes and other things. I think he'd be a little fun guy to play with. What are you setting face down, man? No, you have to activate more cards than I feel bad. I feel bad that... Oh, I clicked no. Well, fuck. I clicked no. I don't know if I have a way to kill now. Folks, my fellow Americans, I clicked no. Oh, I might have a line here. Almirage, and then I can go into Cookie, and there might be enough damage for lethal. Battle. Alright, what's crazy is they actually call it the beetle phase. Nimble Momonga! Nimble Momonga! He only plays 2? Oh my god, it's gonna make him live. Nimble Momonga is a card from 2004 that was bad in 2004. I think Nico might have been born in 2023. If I get sauced by Nimble Momonga, I'm not gonna be able to live it down personally, like in my own mind. I don't think I want to banish any of his cards. It just feels cruel. Okay, I'll pass. If I had clicked yes and not no, I would have won that turn, but I didn't do that, so I didn't win. A smee squeam smeek. Thank you back. What's your target? Don't target Lollipo. Don't target any of these three. Because she can just tag out with any of the two. He can tag out for free. And then these guys... Why are you choosing the weakest one? That's so strange. I'm gonna put them on spec of having a 1 tribute monster in hand. We're just gonna get rid of these two. Okay, the spec was correct. Now that's Mirror Force. Now hold on, because I think that might just be the trap card Mirror Force. He said it with the quickness. I feel like that's Mirror Force. It's Mirror Force. Shuffle all attack position monsters. Okay, all right. Let's get out of here. But it can't attack. But it cannot attack. Okay, main phase 2. We had fun here, folks. I'm just sort of eternally punished by not clicking. This could have been over like 4 turns ago. It's sad that it's not clear how silly it was that was Mirror Force. This guy does nothing. Oh my god, it's Ghost of Battle. He's gonna win this game. I think he's gonna win this game. Like the Aesop Rock song? There's an Aesop Rock song called Mirror Force? Oh, Leisure Force. Okay. Well, I kind of got my wish. What I wanted to have happen was to see more of this deck. And I'm certainly seeing more of this deck. It also shows me just how fucking punished we are by not playing the 3rd Snatchy. We are, like, gravely punished currently. Also, none of these cards do anything. Uh-huh. Yep, none of these cards do anything. All right. Pass. Yeah, I mean, Momonga sweet. What else can I say? Momonga, one of the most powerful cards of all time. This is the funniest game I've been a part of, maybe in years. I actually just, like, don't even... What the fuck is Different Dimension Capsule? Sure, man. Sure. I guess this time, now we can't get this guy to attack over my monsters. Oh, it banishes face down? Add the banished card to your hand. Okay, so you're just going to pass here. Yep. I think our only... Wait, did I already... Oh, I didn't discard the Raigeki. Okay. Our only win con is to wait 30 turns to draw the Raigeki to out a fucking 3k beat stick. Yep. I should have put him to defense, but who cares? What is this song? What is going on with YouTube and Firefox? It just like stops sometimes. Yeah, the entire like Firefox application has frozen. I can't do anything in that tab anymore. The tab won't even close. Hold on, I gotta grab the playlist again. Super Poly. That won't help me. That won't save me. What'd they get? Of the Abominable Unchained Soul? This is a guy who has just read Yu-Gi-Oh cards for the first time in like 30 years and is like, wait, this card's crazy. Discard 1 card, destroy 1 card on the field. Discard, don't discard Obelisk the Tormentor. That's Obelisk the Tormentor. That's a god card. You can't discard a god card. Okay, tunes are back on. Oh my god, wait. This is so funny. Do I have 3 spells in my grave? I do. This is so funny. Oh my Obelisk the Tormentor. Oh wait, no, it has this. I forgot. This is the lore thing. If you summon it, it goes to the grave during the end phase. I forgot about that. This does nothing. There he goes. There goes my hero. Call of the Haunted Target Obelisk. Okay, so he's gonna go to the graveyard again this turn. At least we drew a level 1. Oh my god, Gravity Controller doesn't take a level 1. Alright, we're gonna give him this one. He's earned this one, folks. Dude, they're so chill. That was wonderful. I'm just glad to be a part of that. I don't even think Droll and Lockbird's good against this deck. I know for sure these cards are not. I think we're gonna just fuck it. We're just gonna go first. We're just gonna do full combo. Fuck it. Who cares? Yeah. So what you do here is you go with it. You have a activatable card in your hand. What the fuck? What are you playing? Oh, actually, no. I need to do this first and then chain this. Then we need to not fuck up the combo, folks. Yes, here comes Yummy Cupsy. There goes my Cupsy. Watch him yummy. All right, now it's imperative we don't click no the next time we have the option to use the card. Okay, I don't like this song very much. Oh my god, do they have Nibiru? They didn't play a playable card the first 2 games and now they have Nibiru the Primal Being? Oh, no, they don't. Okay. What did we want last time? Yeah, we wanted like 2 of these, I think. Fuck, 2 of these. Am I right? Folks, it's called comedy. Get him out, and then we're gonna go for him. Ooh, a Croaky. Maybe we just do a Croaky. Actually, fuck it, we ball. 1, 2. I'm not gonna banish anything, and then I think we're gonna activate a Croaky. This allows us to put back one of the fucking Yummy Snatchies, which is good. Yep, put back those 2. And then we can set this, and we can pass. This is the same song? Oh, no, it's not. It's different. It's called Humming the Bassline. Look, it's a different song. Okay, they've set a card face down. Very well. I wonder if that's Nimble Momonga. What's crazy? Oh, I didn't activate this during that phase. What's crazy? We're just gonna kill. It's Scapegoat. The Abominable Unchained Soul. No, I don't think I'm gonna allow you to Abominable Unchained Soul that. Let's go. Yeah, you. Special Snatchy effect. We'll be able to place this effect here. Let's go for Yummy Cupsy effect. Let's grab you, and then here we can go into, if we use this effect to put back both, we can go into, yeah, Yummy Cupsy Way. Yummy Cupsy Way will let us draw 2, discard 1. By draw, I mean specifically search out these guys. We can normal summon Cookie, and then should be good from there. Also, it's a straw one. Nice, not bad. So let's special summon this guy. Okay, so if this one, Firefox is again not playing music. I cannot refresh. I don't even have like add-ons in Firefox. This is just default Firefox for me, for a guy like me. All right, effects. Let's get rid of Abominable Unchained Soul. Beetle Phase. We made about 30 misplays and we dropped a map to the to this guy, but it's fine. We learned that we should be playing 3 Yummy Yummy Snatchy. Because if we don't, we might fuck up, and Nico 2023 will fuck us over. Okay. Here's the other thing we've learned. We've also kind of learned that Yummy by itself is not really powerful enough. When we lost to Mitsu Yummy, it's because they had 2 different engines in here. So we're gonna try Mitsu Yummy. This is a little, no, it's not really that heavy on the hand traps. This is just a build that is very boring, very plain, very kind of run of the mill and bottom feeding, we'll call it. We're gonna play as many Yummies as we want to though. We're maxing out on Yummy. We're Yummy maxing. I also have not like sculpted this deck too much, so I don't, it could be bad, but who gives a sniff? What time is it? 10:30. Okay, that's fine. We can do the 10:30 hop. Okay, we are going first with this deck. Wow. This is a really powerful hand. We're gonna go Habakiri, activate Tribute. I'll show you guys the general Mitsurugi combo here. But this will allow us to get Mitsurugi Ritual. Any responses here? None. Okay. So Mitsurugi Ritual will allow us to tribute summon, special summon this guy by tributing this guy from deck. His effect will allow us to add a Mitsurugi card. They have a response. Intriguing. Potential response here. Any response pigs? Oh, it could be a Bystial. Bystials are dragons that are able to banish lights and darks from the opponent's grave if they control a monster. We went for the trap card here because we have this card, Pre-Preparation of Rites. It can't be Droll and Lockbird. They already had a position to Droll and Lockbird and they didn't. This will allow us to add the Mirror, which will allow us to kind of go fuller combo here. So, we can watch Chugs. We can do a little bit of Chugs. We are going to special summon the one from grave by tributing the one on field. Ooh, they also could have been holding the Bystial for this position, which is not a bad play. I probably would respect my opponent for doing. It appears as though they didn't, though. Interesting. Okay. So, we don't need to go into the zombie vampire here, but we are going to, because it's going to let us see what's in the opponent's deck, which I'm kind of curious about. They're really thinking about whatever the fuck it is they're thinking about. As a reminder, this card just lets us each mill the top 4, and then I can special summon one monster that was milled. Milling being a Magic the Gathering turn. I think it comes from Millstone, a Magic the Gathering card. That just means put cards from your top of your deck into your graveyard. Oh, that's infinite impermanence. All that to hold an infinite impermanence. Interesting. Okay. I guess that could be the correct move, because it prevents us from doing some dumb shit. Wow, every card in hand is good. We've already used Habakiri, so we don't really need another one. Let's go into Yummy Yummy Cupsy. Cupsy Yummy. Let's grab this card here. And then we don't need to go for the crazy killer combo. So we're just going to play a little chill. We're going to be a little bit like chill pigs. Activate this. This will get us some cards back. We can go here. We can go into these two into Lollipo. Lollipo effect. Get us 2 guys back. These 2 guys can go into Shamazin Samsara Sorrow Cat. This card's good because it has an extra effects, specifically if we don't have Mitsurugi yet, but we already do, so we don't really have a need to go through the full combo there. Marshmallow will go on field. We can go into Marshmallow into Snatchy. We can go Yummy Surprise to special summon Marshmallow back. Didn't show this before, but what Marshmallow does, lets us add Yummy Surprise back to hand, which means that we get to use one of its 3 modal effects next turn. First one's pretty good. Second one is also very good, usually on our turn. First one's good on the opponent's turn. And from here, we can shuffle back one of these guys to get him on field. We don't really need to, though. But we might. Yeah, so I think we actually are going to do that. Let's shuffle back Cupsy, Yummy, Way in order to get them on field, and then we are going to go these 2 off into IP Masquerena. Now what IP Masquerena does is it lets us Xyz summon the opponent's turn. We can Xyz summon this card, Gorgon of you cannot summon that monster to the zone this card points to. Monster card points you cannot attack, also their activated effects are negated. So it basically negates up to 3 cards in the opponent's field because it points up 3 different positions. Quite powerful. Quite piggy. Oh my god, we're playing against Pearly! Aww. Well, I'm sorry that I have to kill them, but... Give me Yummy Cupsy. I would love to draw 1 card. So the other reason why Pearly is not a great pick right now, Droll and Lockbird usually cooks this deck into the sun. Almost all of their cards search in some way. Discard 1 card and special. Okay. I think we're fine to let them special summon their card. Especially because it lets them discard a card as well. They discard a second copy of Stray Pearly Street. So your opponent cannot target Pearly monsters you control with effects the turns they are special summoned. So this card will let them like do shit and then rank up. We probably don't want that to happen. We're gonna chain the big negate here. This will destroy it. Also, Herald of Arclight gets us another card, which is cool. I like seeing cards, folks. Depending on what they do next, we can... Well, unfortunately, because of this guy, yeah. We can't target their cards. That's not great. However, what we're going to do here is... They only have 1 card left in hand. Oh, I clicked the wrong fucking button. That's fine. I want to special summon Ame no Murokuma. Whatever effect this card has, we can negate it with this guy. Sure. We also can do this. IP Masquerena can link summon into SP Little Knight, and this card specifically says your opponent cannot target Pearly monsters you control the turn they are special summoned. This card was normal summoned, so we can still banish it, get it off the field, and it cannot be used for any further plays. So we know that they're on Pearly. Some of the downsides to Pearly, well, there's a downside and there's a couple upsides. Oh, this is a different deck. We're not playing Santa Claus or any sort of cards that tribute over the opponent's monsters. That actually means that cards like these that will destroy the opponent's back row in the sort are really not even that good. We can destroy all of the cards they have except for the 1 big guy, and it won't really matter. So what we're gonna have to try to do is focus on getting these interruptions on the opponent's turn and really making them count, which is gonna be difficult. Yeah, I think we don't sub anything in. Only 1 key animal had to be disintegrated that match. Yeah, only 1. They surrendered before we had to disintegrate a second animal. Wow, the hand is not interactive at all. So I think Soren's gone at this point. But if they were curious as to what a Pearly combo looks like, they're going to be able to see it right here. It's me, amigo Pearl. Not a fan of this song either. This isn't bad. I like this one. Oh, this card, the card they just activated, lets them pick 3 cards, or they get to pick 3 cards from their deck, and then randomly add 1 to hand. This right here is the gimmick of the Pearlies. So you can see that the little baby puppy just targeted one of the spell cards, targeted one of the memories, and then was able to jump into a bigger Pearly card. The card they set probably was called Pure Leap, which will allow them to basically get this into the big monster that can do a whole bunch of stuff. Wow, actually this card's dead also, because this card needs this card in deck in order to resolve. So 3 of these cards are dead. This one won't probably do too much, and then this one is also dead, actually, and we should have activated it in the draw phase. Okay, well they didn't do anything about that. That's good. If they droll us, though, that's really bad. That turns off the entire engine. Oh, they didn't do it. Very well. Okay, we have our Mitsurugi ritual. We can now ritual summon 1 reptile ritual monster from the deck. I'm going to choose Ame no Murakumo no Mitsurugi. We can chain both of these cards. This is called a chain block. They can't respond to this effect because this card is the next thing in the chain. They have to respond directly to the last thing. However, this card doesn't care about chain blocks because it just says target 1 effect monster it controls, negate its effects. It's quick effect if it has pretty memory, which it does. So this is in here. Probably secondary again because they're too cute to attack. You wouldn't hurt her, would you? You wouldn't hurt baby Puri? That's actually the thing with the Yummies, or sorry, with the Melfies. The Melfies, if you declare an attack on a Melfie, they jump back into your hand. They just can't be hurt. They just keep going away. I guess we'll just grab this. Oh! Goodbye, Pearly Beauty. Okay, they now have nothing to defend their life points. Wonder what this card is. This card probably is another way to stop us. Probably another, like, Pearly card. Let's do the zombie vampire. We actually don't even need to put him in the monster zone up there. And yeah, we got a Marshmallow. Let's go, my Marshmallow. We are far playing into Nibiru territory. However, maybe it won't matter. Maybe we're special. They don't have the card that will win them the game instantly. Maybe. They're not scooping here, so I think they do have the card that wins them the game instantly. However, yet again, as a wise man once said, you never lose until you've lost. Also, I like grinning. I like smiling. Show me Nibiru. This is two ways this is an overcommitted committed to the board. Show me Nibiru. Yep. That's good. We have not used Mignon, and we haven't used Surprise. So we should be fine here to go for lethal. I think even if this is a... Did we just use Lollipo? Oh, fuck, we did. We can still do this to sink this guy. And then I guess we kind of have to just do this in order to Book of Moonum. Battle phase. Get over him. And then main phase 2, whenever they do anything, we can go full Yummy combo. Alright, pass. Your turn, player. So this is all of our Yummy names back into action. This is this will revive this guy, which will let him destroy all monsters my opponent controls. Also gets the effect to discard a card or that effect is negated on an opponent's card effect. And then I didn't get to this guy yet, but this guy is really good. It's an Omni negate as well if we have this. So once we use this guy, then we can put him on field, but we didn't do that. We're not going to add administer. We will special summon out the boy. We're also going to special summon out these two. Go my Cupsy, go my Yummy Cupsy. Oh, what's this effect? Banish this card, target one. Oh, I didn't know it did that. That's very strong. This is useless right now. Yeki. Sure, this will make it so we're both going to be on 0 cards. Because they will discard this card in hand to negate this, in order to let this effect resolve. We will have nothing. They will have nothing. But we have 2 cards in hand, and we can potentially draw into more. Oh. Fuck. Sure, what's this going to do? Okay, so they're going for 3 cards. We have 2 happy, 1 delicious. So all of these cards have the same first effect. Discard 1 card, or summon 1 Pearly monster. Okay, so they're going to go for Happy Memory here. What we can just do is chain to this. This is going to let they have to discard this card in hand. I don't care about that. Oh, they just surrendered. Okay. So what this lets us do is it lets us go into Cookie Yummy, which lets us put 2 monsters face down. If they're face down, I don't think they can be used to Xyz up into, because it's their effect on. But okay. Well, I think this might be the better deck. This Yummy Mitsurugi deck. I would prefer to play more non-engine in it. I just feel like the Mitsurugi engine is kind of easy to get hated out. But these cards are really good. Just having 1 of this guy puts so much pressure on the board and so much like additional oomph to an end board. As well as, I didn't talk about this card yet, but Dimensional Barrier. If the opponent goes first and sets this card, it basically prevents us from synchroing, which means we can't go for game. But if they prevent us from synchroing, we can win with Mitsurugi cards. So it's a way to play around that too. It's probably the most prevalent card of the Mulcharmy Fua loss. With all that in mind, I think we should watch some chugs. You could color pick a pretty color accurate trans pride flag from my friend Pearly. You know, I've never tried. Actually, you know what? Let's do the whole shebang. Let's do a little tiny puppy chugs. Let's do some of our normal New York Times connections. Let's take a little smeep at the scandal.
The weather is acting.
There we go. All right, what do we have in connections? Doggy, kitty, ducky, birdie. Oh. Wait, doggy and swag? Maybe that's it. Oh. Swag, prize, purse, hot. Oh, it's not swag? What's another one? What's another one for this? Go, mixed. This is like everything. All the yummies, all the cupsies. Prize, purse, pot, doggy, fine, swag, ducky, ball, stone, kitty, go. I don't know why it's not doggy and kitty. Doggy, kitty, ducky. This one is fucked if you're not a mobster from 100 years ago. Fuck. Oh, fuck. The prize? Swag. Not the purse, but it is the pot. There's another word that... Oh, having the stones? No, it's not pot either. It's purse. And... whatever. I'm sleepy. Pucket, as we say. All right, what is it? Peachy. What the fuck is ducky? Winnings. Kitty is the winnings? What the fuck are you talking about? Kitty is not winnings. Pieces of Olympic sports equipment. Birdie ball. Okay, I wouldn't have gotten that. Doggy bag, go bag, swag bag, and mixed bag. This is terrible. This was a bad one. These 8 were abysmal. I might have been able to get this with enough time. Okay, that's abysmal. The fads. Not a word. Shard. Jesus Christ. Dracula. Fuck. Drain? Drink? No. Drill? Grill? Oh my god, I did it again! Holy shit! How the fuck? I swear to god I did not look this up beforehand. I cannot play Wordle ever again. The fact that I did it 3 tries the last 2 times I've done it is crazy. Holy shit. Oh my god. That is one of the more impressive things I've done in my life on two pulls. I'm adding this to the post. The fuck with me counters are going crazy. Jesus. Okay, let's fuck up Scrandle. Ooh, this looks better. Oh god. Okay, I need to have a little bit of my green. I'm gonna get too sleepy if I keep this shit. Cheese pizza on the right looks just abysmal. Pork and gravy roll on the left is fine. Sorry, 13.50. 14 fucking dollars for that? It's bad. 7.3%? How the fuck was it 7.3%? Okay, this was taken in a plastic bag. This actually kind of looks like this person took a picture on their LCD like screen of them holding up this. This does look bad. In the giant cock with cum. France, your raw penis is too large for that serving dish. Far too much mayo. You're telling me you're gonna dip this in this, take a bite, or are you just using like a fun dipstick and you're just looking at the mayo? I'm in hell, man. It's not this. It is not the $10.40 pizza. This is the lampe. I've seen this before. I know this is the answer. And I know they're being fucking cute with this one. I know this came in a full box and they got a little knife and they cut a very, very tiny slice off. I'm not going to fucking believe it. It's this one. Oh, I mean, this looks like a very traditional classic hot dog with onion. Doesn't look good. $4.30 is far too much for it, but I would much prefer the mystery scran. Is this Smack Bar and Pay Wet? Not Smack Bar and Pay Wet. Is this Babby's Yed? This is Babby's Yed, right? Because it's got the thing and it's got like a thing in the middle. Wow, that's close. I would eat the mystery scran. I hate this, by the way. Wait, Olympic burger and fries? Why does this look like ice cream that they cut into? I don't like this a lot. I understand 5 pints for $18. You could fly to MTX Budapest, get 5 pints for $18, order like 6,000 of them and fly home to America and sell them at a gas station and make money on the whole trip. But I'm still going with the burger and fries. Also, $12.10 is reasonable in today's society for a burger and fries. They're gonna give this one like a 4% because they're assholes that don't want to eat herring. This looks fine. I mean, this is 50 cents. Like, I am fine with both of these in certainly in concept. But they gotta do something to the bread. I think the ice cream sandwich is gonna win because people are gonna be like, yucky fishes. Yeah, stupid. That burger is fucked up. That is raw bacon. That bacon is see-through. That's fucking terrible. It's only fat. It is a trace of lard and nothing else. There's not even meat identifiable in it. It's the fucking thought of bacon. It's a whisper of a memory. It's a you can't even find like microwave bacon that thin. They're pulling that shit that Scrooge pulled, that Mickey Mouse pulled when they're like, we have to cut the bread down so we can eat less food. And he got the little knife and cut away like a whisper of bread. That's what they're doing with the bacon on this fucking $9 bacon cheeseburger. Also, sorry, did that cheese turn into a mold and start spreading out like a slime mold that has some sort of like sentient consciousness? It's just not real. I'm picking it. And I'm fucked for it. Cool. You didn't get that. Nate, that's not food. This is a picture of the ground. This is a sidewalk that you picked up off the ground. Also, it says 10 euros and it's 8.65. What's the truth? Sorry, I didn't read pork hamburger. That's not a pork hamburger. That's bologna on buns. It's literally good people hate on because they don't know it's an appetizer. It's a little snack. I guess I have to taste that red. I guess that might change me, but I'd be surprised. You know what? 2 good looking dishes. This looks like heaven, by the way. This is beautiful. Where is this? Peru? This is beautiful. Um, I mean, it's this. Yeah. Sorry, 19%? Both of those are at least 50%. It's not the fucking burned ass sausage you stuck your thumb in. Also, you're the only person in the fucking stands. Veggie burger looks a little bit too thin, too much bread, but I mean, $5. You know what? You get what you paid for. Not call me fucking indolent. Not fucking call me indolent after that. Don't you know who I am? I'm Mr. Drill. I'm Women Shard Drill. That's me. I'm Mr. Drill.
Stranger and stranger. Super windy, sky looking crazy. Some stranger things are about to happen. And speaking of that, there is another citrus cooler that we gotta try. And I think this one is the right side up version. We're gonna do this right now and throw it in the doggone yard glass. We haven't chugged out a yard glass in a minute, so I think this is the
It's been a
time where
while
we gotta
since the
do it.
doggone
Don't
yard
touch
glass.
that.
I'll give him that.
Don't you dare touch that mouse, folks, because Badlands Chucks is back on. We did this one already. This right here is a citrus cooler.
That's the one he said was terrible, right?
Just nuts. Upside down version, straight Kermit the Frog water. Oh my god.
Yeah, he said it was terrible. I remember
not
that.
Good. This is the proper one that we gotta do. Gatorade citrus cooler. All right. Stranger Things is bringing it back because it's 80s theme. But yo, I just want to taste this to see if it tastes better than that frog water. Hold on.
I like the phrase frog water.
Oh,
Honey, get the camera. I'm
yo,
smoking straight frog
much
water.
better. Yo, this tastes like the original orange Gatorade. This probably is the original orange. I don't remember Gatorade having one flavor back in the 80s, and this one is it. It's way better than this one. Oh my goodness.
Why did you buy another one? You know you're not gonna like it.
Oh, nah, bro. This is not it. Put this one somewhere over there, and we're sticking to this one. It has something right there on the bottle. It says there's no ordinary thirst quencher, but yo, it's mad cold out here. So if you want to know it, just go to 7-Eleven or wherever the store is and buy it, okay? We are doing this in the yard glass. Oh,
It's been so long since a
bringing it
yard glass
back.
chug. I don't even recall what the
Oh,
normal
my
times are for
goodness.
that.
Good old yard glass. Oh man. I think it's been at least a month since we chugged out of this bad boy. Second one in. Yes. And
This is
what it
1.5
is, folks.
bottles.
In its beauty.
A normal bottle I'd probably say is like
No
5
spilling.
seconds. I'm gonna give it like
We are
an
gonna do this.
11
This is
seconds
not gonna
here.
be a long one
9
because we
seconds, an
gotta-
extra 2.
Jeez,
Oh, he spilled.
trying to get it in the frame.
Spill pig.
Gatorade citrus cooler, the original one. I spilled a little, transporting it over here. Oh. So tonight, folks, this stealth chug is the Gatorade Stranger Things citrus cooler. All right.
As a reminder, why is it a stealth chug? For it is a chug that takes place near the hours of dark or
This is
dusk.
the regular one. And yes, we are doing it in the yard glass.
I get so
bringing it
scared as he's
back
holding that
because
he's
we
gonna
miss
squeeze
it.
a little bit and it's gonna shatter.
No spilling, no spilling.
The whole thing
And
is just gonna
yo,
shatter below him. He's gonna
Let's
go.
see if we can get all this
"Oh."
down without spilling
Be
one
really sad.
drop, okay? So, if you're ready, let's get it going. 3, 2, 1, folks. Enough talk. Let's get it.
All right, I have 9 seconds. Evil Naravar, you have 14 seconds. What time is it right now? Oh, the fucking Windows like clock doesn't have a seconds hand anymore. Show me the fucking taskbar, you bitch. Little bitch. The fucking taskbar. Oh, it won't do because I have a fucking full screen application in the background. Close Omega. What the? Where'd Chug go? Where'd my Chuggy? There he is. I still can't see the taskbar. Okay, he will have guessed. Wow. I said 11. We have 10 and 12. Guys, I think my 11 might be a little bit off. Also, Trixie Fops, the way the decimals work for this guessing system, actually, I think you followed a little bit ago. You might know. But the rule is if you guess a decimal and it has to be exactly that decimal, and if it is, then you get a crazy big prize. But you can't do it for your first time because we have to make sure. We have to establish a field of trust. Make sure people aren't pre-watching. Which no one's done yet. I had suspicions about one person. But yeah. It just looks so fragile. Evil Nerevar, the closest. I had like 16. I was crazy off. 2104. 2104.
Really?
I was half off. He was closer to 22 seconds than he was to my time. Oh, he was a messy boy. It seems like a poor instrument to sup of. All right, Evil Nerevar, what would you like the drawing to be? I don't think we've done this one.
You probably
We
never
didn't do it because
seen-
it's left ear only. I don't want to watch expired camel milk chug. We'll do this one. We'll do Pocari Sweat.
To put you through tensions.
Yeah. Whew. You got this right. Get my mind off of this. But instead of wiping this off and putting it in the bottle, you know I'm going with Monier. But if
For those that have the hands, you know. Ho,
here you go,
we got the katana sword.
Sword.
We're literally
Thor's hammer, sword.
I want to hear him
And you
say
know-
Mjolnir.
It is an electrolyte.
tastes like.
Yeah,
Ho,
here you go. You know
you know.
Sword. And you know I'm going with Monier. 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 Monier.
I like that noise. You should all Chugsy Yummy. Fuck, I don't know.
Straight up Thor's hammer.
We're literally battling right now. This is
Yes.
not just your normal chug.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We got a samurai sword, and we have the hammer.
Right. This is.
Guys, we're going into battle.
You've never tried this, so
No.
so yeah. Let's just take a sip. Let me, just let me know while I feel it.
I had Pocari Sweat when I was in Japan, but it's been so long that I forgot what it tastes
Yeah,
like.
you like that?
For those that are just watching, you think this is just normal water. No, it's not water. It's like just like a grape type of taste.
Yeah, like like grapefruit.
Yeah.
But it's like really like high filtered water, straight from Tokyo or Osaka or wherever they're bound. It's definitely important, folks. So
Straight
you
from
got the
Tokyo
sword,
or Osaka.
I got the hammer.
We got water straight from, the Bronx or Raleigh, North Carolina.
Need to talk. Let's get it.
Yeah, I also forgot that Chugs is crazy tall. He has the aura of a guy that's kind of like tall, but not crazy tall. He's pretty big.
Whew. Let's go. Let's go.
I feel bad for him. There's not. I think Chugsy Yummy would have a big smile. Usually the yummies don't really have smiles. Give him some yellow shoe. Give him some little yellow iris. He's electric type. He's a delectable Electabuzz. How about some like colors for his shirt? I guess he's wearing a black shirt right now. Let's do gray. Oh, I realized that they're not talking, or I muted them because I didn't want to hear the guy talking for a little bit. So I don't want the stream to have no audio at all. I gotta say something to keep the letters up. Also, I can't read the chat right now. I am very much focused on getting his belly situation sort of sorted. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, 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 yep. How about I put like a BL, which does not stand for boys love in this situation. It stands for bad land. And then let's give him a katana. It's a chug-tana. He only uses it for chugs. Number 1. Chug. See? Yum. It's Chugsy Yummy. Yippee! We're doing a quick one. I put Chugsy Yummy in the middle of the fucking screen. Oh, what are you doing to his eye? I think we've seen this before, haven't we? I seem to remember she's putting it in his eye. Did we watch this last fucking stream? That's Austin Butler, isn't it? This doesn't look that familiar. I don't know who the fuck that guy is. Yeah, we saw this one. He's like pooping out the cards. I recall this. And they just don't make Star Wars generated AI trailers like they used to. They used to have like 4. Now they have 4. The Hutts? We already watched the Hut. Oh, how about Star Wars Return of the Redneck? That's gonna be good to watch. Damn, they made all these things bad. Did we see this one?
In a galaxy far, far away where the forces of good and evil collide, comes a tale.
Oh, this is the good AI that's like really, really fucked up.
Time of tyranny.
The fuck is this even supposed to be? Why is this so small? Oh, I love this. Just sort of wiggling. Just sort of wiggling back and forth. These are the good models. Oh, and then the sky exploded. Star Wars, A New Hope. I like that R2-D2 died over here. They killed his ass. That's the Death Star. I'm familiar with the Death Star. I don't know who that is, because it's not Darth Vader. Doesn't have the full head thing on. Darth Vader certainly doesn't have giant ass fucking ears, but his eyes are red and his color is jet black, which is not the color of C-3PO. The only that is George Lucas. Like George Lucas, that's him now. I guess this is just a stormtrooper. Oh, you can't see it gets cut off. Maybe if it cuts up a little bit. Yeah, look at his head. Look at his little radar dish right up here. What's this? Is that what you like use to spin like an old wind-up toy? Why is that there? Please get Jabba the Hutt's nipples out of my eyes. Oh, I like that he's just undulating. How it feels. How it constantly feels. It's just getting easier, folks. It's only getting easier.
Luke Skywalker, a simple farm boy.
I like his chain. I like Luke Skywalker's iconic chain.
Dreams of adventure beyond the confines of his world. Join
Sorry, what was that 5-frame scene?
confines of his world, 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 confines of his world. Joined by a fearless smuggler, a courageous princess, and a
Oh, girl, he's down here. You're gonna want to look down at him.
wise mentor. Luke embarks on a journey that will change
Lukem?
the fate of the galaxies forever.
Does not look like R2D2 at all. Two guys standing.
With breathtaking visuals and heart-pounding action.
Chewie's mouth is exploding.
Star Wars.
Who the fuck is that? That's not Padme. Okay, this looks more like C-3PO. Who the fuck is that?
New Hope transports you to a universe.
Look at his teeth, man. Why can't they get teeth right? Teeth are so... Ugh, Jesus. He's aggressively a combo between normal and Baby Yoda. He is puke green. He is split pea green. He does not look good. Also, the inside of his ears are supposed to be a darker green. That is clearly pink. Why doesn't the AI know that? What's the point?
Heroes are forged in the fires of battle.
Okay, weird Darth Vader is back again. I like that Han is just sort of like hunched over and fiddling with his something that Han constantly does. Oh, ma'am, your right eye has gone away.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Who the fuck is that? Is that R2? Why is he, like, if he's C-3PO, why is he blue? Don't give us a push in. Who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is he supposed to be? No one even has, like, a nose. He's like the Iron Giant. No one has, like, giant red circular eye dishes. No one has a big, like, nose piece that's just, like, straight down the middle of their fucking face. No one has, like, a scar in the middle of their forehead in the shape of a panel? What is that supposed to be? Also, you can't see it. This guy, oh, you could see it a little bit ago. This guy also has a wind-up key. You see, it looks like a little, like, spider you can push into his head. What's the point of it? Okay. Sexual Millennium Falcon with one penis but two legs? Interesting. I love the new method that George Lucas has gone. I also like that half these shots are just, like, sparkle and turn slightly. Okay, let's watch the ultimate 90s plant monster card battle game.
They're alive! They're green! They're twabs!
Really like how the twabs are looking right now, folks.
Twabs!
I like how they're just sort of shifting. She reaches out and one just splats on the ground.
Trade me, Barkstrike!
Thorntail's yours! Battle your buds! Grow your power! Twab! Plant! Trade! Dominate!
This is not, like, crazy wrong. This is not crazy off. But you're not going to say it's AI generated? Not a single tag about it being AI? We have a fucking altered or synthetic comment from OpenAI, but nothing else? Goonie, what are you making? What are you producing in the world? What is that? Was that? Oh, that's Shrek with Chris Farley. What the fuck is Tenchu PS1? I grow tired of this. Folks, thank you all for coming out. Thank you for viewing my sitting through some yummies. Thank you for watching me do the Wordle. Me do the Wordle good. The Wordle good. We are going to raid into the bunny, who is also known as the bunny. You can go ahead and give the bunny a shout out. We get to the bunny / raid. Bunny. What's the raid message? Anything of import happen today? Did anything happen at all? I guess the raid message is drill. Let's go with drill. That was the word of the day, apparently. Drill. Drill is the word message of the day. Good night, everyone. I will see you all. Oh, they just have to go piss. Okay. We're gonna wait a little bit. I guess we only have like 20 seconds. guys have anything you want to talk about? What happened to you guys recently? 30 seconds left. Fun? Anything cool? Cool. Right. Goodbye, everyone. Wagadago. Say hi to Bun. Drill. 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 And for all the VOD watchers, twice.